damn podcast.
Hello, Club Culture family. This is episode 124. I got my boy Jonesy with me today.
Jonesy's here.
I got my guy Khyle.
Baby here.
I got my guy Khyle.
Yeah.
You want to say hello?
Hey,
nigga?
what's up? I'm still working on my intro. I thought I was gonna do something natural, and nothing came.
Okay.
But I'm gonna figure that out for y'all.
I got my boy Cortland in the back.
Yo.
Jenna with us.
You're
And you know, it's Big Sexy T.
Big Jenna.
And we also got all you lovely listeners and watchers tuned in. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all for following, subscribing, leaving comments, leaving likes, and discovering us, because a lot of y'all did just find us from episode 123.
Yeah, man. Shout out y'all to leave positive comments, man. I love this new wave of community we bringing on.
Yeah.
Them last people was mean, bro.
Mean as hell.
Was mean as fuck, bro.
Right.
But it makes sense though. We kind of talked about it in the clip that a lot of people found us through. But the things that we speak about on this podcast are things that people aren't ready to exactly maneuver into. Like, they not ready to actually, be positive. They
Right.
want to still do all the shit that we grew up seeing people do.
Right.
And you can still do a little bit of it. Like, it's some shit. Like, you ain't got to let everything go. But
I
there's
feel
some
you.
stuff
I
we can
feel you.
speak to.
We're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
telling you to, change overnight.
Right. It's a process,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all are, we all here. I'm the heathen that's gonna walk with y'all, bro. You know, T
Yeah.
super perfect.
That's crazy.
I
That's
got y'all,
crazy.
bro.
I
I
don't
got
like
the
that.
ain't-
I don't like that.
I got
Shut
the
that
ain't
shit down
shitters
now.
that wanna
Shut that
be
shit
shitters.
down.
Ain't
No.
shitters.
I be
Yeah.
want you feel like I want you to be perfect.
No, but
Okay.
that's how
That's
the
how people
yeah,
take
perceive
that's how,
you. Yeah, you
fair
ain't shit
enough.
to me. you be doing some shit, dog.
Yeah.
That's crazy, Jonesy. I'm gonna need for you to expound later.
I love when you show me your like ain't
that
shitness.
I'm not shit.
I be like, yeah, man, she human. That's my nigga.
I swear to God, I feel like that's what people. That's why they call me perfect, because they don't get to see that I'm not shit sometimes too.
Right. Yeah, no, we all ain't shit. It's just
Yeah.
some ain't shit. Like, you just can't go too far with the ain't shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, it's
Exactly.
human error, shit that been going on before we got here that we
Yeah.
just couldn't control.
Yeah, my ain't shit ain't hitting my kids. and
Yeah.
that's not my ain't shit. My
Not
ain't
at
shit
all.
is ghosting you because I feel like you knew what you was doing.
Same,
Like,
and that's me.
Okay, yeah.
That's my ain't
that's
shit.
me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't respond to shit.
Yeah.
I block without conversation.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, bro, that's me. That's why I
Yeah.
fuck with you.
Yeah.
It's some ain't shit. Yeah, you can't cross.
Yeah.
I know you for a long time, but I was trying to figure out what your ain't shit was.
Yeah, nah, it ain't nothing
I was
crazy.
trying, like, I ain't seen too much of it. other
and
than,
that's
like,
why they call me perfect, because it ain't crazy shit.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
know.
no, you don't have to do that too.
Yeah.
Like,
No, you'll shut some shit down quick, like without conversation.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
fuck
you
with
know.
that.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing I ever seen. You just have some bad music takes and sports takes sometimes, Sometimes, depending on who we talking about, But
You be giving
Same,
some worse
nigga.
takes?
I'm
That's
with
new.
you.
He be tripping. He love MJ. He think MJ to go, LeBron not close to it, and I just be, I be seeing
No,
things
no,
from
no.
both sides.
No, I think LeBron is close. I think he's
Okay.
close. I think being number 3 all time is close to number
So
1.
Kobe too.
Yeah, Kobe
Exactly.
2.
Yeah, nah, Kobe not two.
1, 2, LeBron 3. I feel like if you have wherever you have Jordan, you gotta have Kobe right after.
Okay.
I feel like LeBron can only be number 1 or 3.
If we
Okay.
being honest, Kobe won.
If Jordan is better, then Kobe has to be better too, because those same arguments that you're gonna make for Jordan apply to Kobe.
Okay.
You know,
I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't got a dog in the
Kobe,
fight.
Kobe ain't go 6-0. So
5 and 2 is better than 4 and 6.
it is. It is
Yeah.
better. But LeBron ain't never had a Shaq.
Hey,
I
man,
give you
Shaq was a
that.
menace in the locker room.
He had a Kyrie.
Are you hearing these
got-
he
stories?
got- D-Wade.
Kyrie is not Shaq. D-Wade is not Shaq.
But
D-Wade
okay, so
and
let's
Chris
talk
Bosh.
about the
Shaq
two
really
that,
is a one-to-one.
Yeah.
Real, Shaq is amazing. Shaq averaged 30. Kobe averaged 30 with him.
Yeah.
But motherfucking when Kobe won them too, with Pau Gasol was
Yeah,
his,
he did his
his
thing.
second best player, and
Yeah, he
Pau
did his
Gasol had
thing.
never won a playoff game before he got to
Yeah.
the Lakers.
Mhm.
LeBron ain't never did shit close to that. Kobe did it twice, 2 times in a row.
LeBron did take a bunch of new niggas to the finals.
He took Smush. No, that
No,
was
no,
Smush
I'm
Parker.
talking-
Who was
I'm
on that
talking
team?
I'm talking
Daniel
about,
Gibson?
No, I'm talking about
Daniel
no. I'm talking about the year where he had D Rose, D Wade, all of those
The-
old veterans
Cleveland?
on the Cavs, and
Yeah.
then they traded all them niggas at the All-Star break.
At the trade
D-Rose
deadline
was on
for
the
hella
Cavs.
upgrades.
Yeah, but those upgrades were new people with less experience in the playoffs.
You talking about like when they traded for Darren Williams because LeBron was in the media saying we need more playmaking? Like
Darren Williams?
Yeah, they traded for Darren Williams.
Are we talking about the same Darren Williams off the Nets?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was on
No,
the
I'm-
Cavs.
He was on the Cavs that year.
He was on the Cavs
That
I thought
year,
He was
yeah.
out
Yes.
the NBA. I gotta look. That's something I gotta look up.
That was when
I
they
don't
had.
I
believe
believe that was his
y'all.
last year.
Yeah, that was
I
when they had
believe- yeah.
I
D-Wade.
believe that was his last
Did
year.
that
I
nigga
bet-
get tick?
He
Yeah,
played.
he was hooping.
Yeah.
I don't
vaguely
remember this.
remember that because I ain't remember D Rose being on that Cavs.
It was when
team,
Kyrie got
but
hurt.
He was definitely
Yeah.
there.
Kyrie
Kyrie
got
wasn't
hurt.
on the team
Kyrie
anymore.
wasn't on the team. That's when they traded for Isaiah Thomas, and then Isaiah Thomas was hurt. I think.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
man can't.
the Cavs
No,
got
that
real weird
can't-
before LeBron left.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost
Damn,
certain
he
Darren
was on the
Williams was on there.
Cavs.
Yeah.
Okay,
And if you look up
He
like
came there with that
a
left
week
to
or
right.
two before that, LeBron was crying in the post game interview talking about they need more playmaking, and then they got Darren Williams, and that's my thing. LeBron always handpicks his team. Mike and Kobe didn't do shit like that. They won with what you gave them.
that's that.
LeBron's roster has to be perfect to play with him. Like it has to be a bunch of shooters, big men to play defense. Like they have to design the roster around LeBron. Mike and Kobe, them niggas was gonna win, and that's it. Y'all was gonna at least be competitive.
And
Right.
let's account for the fact that Kobe was in one of the toughest Western conferences.
That is
Ever.
true.
Of all
And
time.
I want y'all to know.
Kobe, my bad. Oh, go ahead.
My bad take with sports is not because I think LeBron's the GOAT. That's not my bad. It's because I think that he is close to MJ. That's the bad take to Cal.
I don't know if
Okay.
y'all know or not, but T used to hoop for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, T could dunk.
Do they know that? You ever talked about
They
that?
know you could dunk.
He always
They
take it
don't.
too far.
They don't know,
Yeah.
but they know,
Okay.
but they ain't see it.
You
to
ain't tell
really-
them it was like 1,500 points or some shit?
They don't know that I was really a dog,
Yeah.
but they just
She
know
was
that
a
I was.
dog.
Good.
Yeah, T was
Cal
the
don't-
first.
I mean, Jonesy don't really believe me.
T was
like-
the first woman basketball player from Indiana to dunk.
See, he be playing when he talk about me, but I'm
This
really
is
that
a straight
nigga.
face.
You know. See, I seen the buckets. I was watching the game, so hey, you get yours from me.
Thank you, Cal.
But-
I appreciate that.
Yeah, but you know.
All American.
Yeah,
All
I believe
American.
you could
Stop
hoop.
playing with her.
My thing was always I could play in the WNBA.
Ah.
Let's not go there because we
So
getting
we
close
have
to
a
be. Yeah,
lot
that's
on
great.
the ticket to talk about today.
Man.
If you are new to Club Culture, thank you for being here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell. I will insert a clip just for people to kind of get a message from me that if you missed it on TikTok, I had posted this clip on the same viral TikTok that you all currently saw on TikTok from episode 123. 123.
Our
So I'll
friend's
post
back.
it. I'll insert it so you can know what the pod is about because I don't feel like we should keep explaining it every episode just because we got new niggas watching. Hi, my name is T, and this is my podcast. Club Culture is a mental wellness podcast. We use pop culture topics to speak to mental wellness. And so we try to do these talks in a very casual way so it doesn't feel like you're on the therapy table all the time. To know Club Culture is to know me. I feel like I put my personal life and my finances on the line to try to create this space with Club Culture to be able to have these conversations that we all need to have to really put a real glimpse into what it is to be Black in America and what it is to grow up in a Black family. You know, a lot of the things that we were taught growing up is what stays in this house stays in this house, sweep things under the rug. And I knew that I just couldn't abide by that. And so I wanted to create a space for us to feel comfortable to talk about these necessary things that we need to talk about to really liberate our people. This was probably your introduction to the podcast, and I'm so grateful that you were able to find us. And hopefully you join us on this journey. Hopefully you click that like. Hopefully you click that subscribe. Hopefully you tune into every episode from now on because things are only going to get bigger and better and more intentional. You can find us on any streaming platform. Every @ is Club Culture Pod. So you'll find us on all our social medias and YouTube and Apple Music, all of those things where you find your podcasts is at Club Culture Pod.
Just watch the damn podcast.
This is a squad episode. We basically run squad episodes, majority of all our episodes and seasons. We run seasons, and our seasons are themed based off of anything that's regarding to liberating our community. And so season 7 is called Defying the Odds. And so anything regarding our commentary, every episode will always tie into that theme. And so one of the things that we will start off on in this episode are hot topics. And so we can start off with the first one that I have on the list for us, which is Twitch. Twitch is a famous dancer. He's been in many he was a part of the Step Up franchise.
Yeah, I didn't know who this was when I went to go read this.
A main character in the Step Up franchise. He also was I guess you can call him a host on the Ellen show. That was his last like real big gig before the Ellen show pretty much faded away. He also was a judge on So You Think You Can Dance.
He was a DJ too, right?
Maybe. I'm not gonna say no because I feel like I've seen him do DJ shit.
Because I feel like that's what my search took me to was DJ, Twitch, wife, does, blah, 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 blah.
Okay. So Twitch died about 2 years ago from suicide.
Mm-hmm.
He took his own life, and it really shocked social media because he seems like always a happy guy, right? He has a wife who I don't know if exactly her makeup, her ethnicity, but
Right.
she's not black, right? And so she came out on People's Magazine and she talked about how through her discoveries, she realized that her husband was battling with drugs and also just had a lot of demons that probably is why he decided to take his own life, right? And so social media did not like her testimony. And his family. His family also are very upset with her. They feel like they haven't seen their kids. He has 2 kids with his wife. His family feels like we haven't seen the kids. You've been keeping the kids from us. You had to sign NDAs to go to the funeral. And now you just coming out saying a bunch of shit about our beloved, and this is not true. So I wanted us to just talk about some of the discoveries and the things that we picked up on with searching this piece of news. One of the things that I saw was she has an older daughter, Twitch's wife. She has an older daughter. The wife name is Allison Holker, for anyone that doesn't know.
Yeah, I was finna say, let's introduce Allison.
So she has an older daughter that is not Twitch's biological daughter. And she came on and made a video just basically defending her mom and saying like, hey, y'all got her wrong. This is what was really going on. And she did say that the NDAs are normal. Twitch is a celebrity. Anytime people would come to any events that had to do with Twitch regarding the family, they had to sign NDAs to come. Because if you niggas taking pictures, you niggas doing weird shit, you can't do it legally. You know, he's protecting his image. And so to sign an NDA to come to the funeral is because she didn't want people to, take videos and pictures of the body because the body was there.
I was going to say, yeah, she probably was protecting the body.
Yeah. So that's what the daughter said. The daughter, she seems to be at least a teenager. I don't know her exact age, but she at least seems like she knows what she's talking about.
Right.
Not some child. And so she also said something about the drugs where she said the mom didn't say that he was like this crackhead. She just said that he was open about his drug usage. Like he would talk to me about how he smokes weed and he would smoke weed pretty often. But when I went through the article in her interview with Peoples, he was doing more than weed.
That. Yeah,
he was doing more
than.
She said that she went through his closet because she was trying to find something for him to wear for the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where she saw mushrooms, certain drugs that she had to go research up on for herself just to know what these drugs were. And yes, she talked about weed, but she also talked about those drugs. And so she said throughout these 2 years for herself, she didn't know why her husband took his life. It was a shock for her as well. Because again, he was just such as happy. They always have fun. They went viral many times on TikTok because they would do dances and became a family thing to do dances and post the videos on TikTok.
Right.
And so she felt like they were living a pretty good life. But then I guess this is the privilege that we speak about in these episodes, that people that don't look like us don't understand the demons that we actually do battle. And though we can smile, these things are still that haunt us. And so she then said that these are the stuff that she started to understand for herself. Like, damn, he did speak to me about his childhood traumas. He did speak to me about how he can't turn off his celebrity. So when he comes home, he finally can. And maybe I wasn't doing enough for him to feel more safe to where he don't even have to be Twitch at all at home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was saying all the things in this interview that I don't feel like social media was bringing up, and they just wanted to be upset at a woman grieving and she wasn't black. So I want to hear y'all perspective.
See, man, I be needing links. Like, just give me like a starter link to go research. Because what I read painted the story as if like Allison was just this evil woman, calling him a dope fiend. She trying to keep the kids away from the family. Y'all can't come to the funeral. I'm just like, God damn, Allison, you mean as hell. Like none of what I've read came out like that at all.
Yeah. You definitely put everything into a much better context. I think because the person who said that they were his family member was online and they had complaints, I think that is what really drove the outrage. I don't think it was people just wanting to be mad at her. I don't even think it was. I think the race played a part into it, right? Like once you see it's a white woman, it's easier to say, hey, she doing some white people shit, right? But it's you know, hey, that's fair.
Yeah.
But
Optics,
it's like,
I understand.
Optics matter.
When the family is saying it, it seems like your first reaction is to be on somebody who's saying it, this their family member side.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think that's a big part of it. But then there's also the part of it that's like, why does this need to be said at all?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, who is this benefiting? You know,
She spoke to that.
Now, is she a celebrity?
You know.
Do you know her?
She's not Twitch celebrity.
But she
That's
got her
all I'll say.
own. Does she have enough celebrity to write a memoir?
That's something we're going to have to research because I didn't look into her background. I just know that she's a grieving wife that now has a boyfriend. That's all I know.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
'Cause
that's
that's
another
all I
thing
know.
they,
That's all I
they
know.
made
Can
to
I chime
point out.
in?
Yeah, do your thing.
I'm gonna say, I definitely agree with everybody's statements. I feel like it did play a part, her race. And I feel like in this culture that we have right now, we bring everything to social media. Like, it doesn't make it right, it doesn't make it wrong. But at the same time, in such a sensitive situation of losing a partner, a spouse, I feel like you don't need to bring that to social media. It's just like protecting the image of your husband. Like, he just passed away, and yes, he committed suicide, but everybody doesn't need to know why he committed suicide. Like, you don't owe the people an explanation, especially when he was doing drugs. He's black. He's a black man. I feel like we tarnish the images of black men too often and too easy. So, like, yeah, he did what he did and he was going through what he went through, but not everybody needs to know that. That's for her to grieve on by herself.
Right.
Like,
And
that's
and
why
she
I feel like
found.
it's wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry, I
you
was
good.
finished. She found the shit by herself. He didn't tell her. So it's like that's clearly something that he didn't want everybody to know.
Right.
That's something that he intended on keeping to himself that he did not even tell his wife, who knew he smoked. So if he said, "Oh, I'm finna eat this shroom," it probably wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But he didn't want to fucking tell her. So for her to go tell the world after, I feel like that's real, just selfish of her for
Clock
whoever she thinks she's benefiting by doing that. Like, he still should have some kind of control over his life even after it's over, especially when it's something like that, and when it's somebody who he trusts enough that you are the person who has access to all his shit. If you can tell that he's hiding it, why would you go show everybody? Why would you tell everybody that?
Especially
that.
privacy. Like, we don't. I feel like because someone is dead, that like it makes it easier for some to like not respect their privacy anymore. That's something therapy lesson, because we was talking about like how my family be keeping secrets and shit. What could look like a secret to me could have been just somebody dying with a private matter. You know, it doesn't make it right, but it's still like their privacy. So to bring it back to Allison, like if you only know that he smoked weed and you out here like, hey, he does ABC, XYZ, that's where it gets wrong. He probably ain't want that out.
I'll be the contrarian here.
What's happening?
Shoot me down if you want to, but
Can I ask you a direct question though?
Do your thing.
Do you feel, and it's just a feeling thing, an opinion, do you feel like dead people are still owed privacy?
Yes,
Okay.
but I also can understand if your heart is in the right place with what you choose to do with the information you know about the dead. So she says that she has a memoir coming out. So she's promoting her book and telling her testimony. I feel like if your heart is in the right place, it's only up to me to believe you. And I believe her. Sorry, I believe a white woman. I believe her when she says that. I don't know too much about, wanting to help others by spreading awareness about addiction and mental wellness, because she says that she's partnered with foundations and whatnot. I don't know about all that. I'm more so speaking to just the idea of her grief, why it took her 2 years to even just talk about his death, and then the findings that she has, and then also her being married to a black man. And so I believe her when she says that all of this was a shock to her, and figuring out how to process this, these discoveries that she has about her past husband. I believe her when she says that it was very traumatizing. Because one, we know how it is to be black, and we know how easy it is to be taught what goes in this house stays in this house, and how much that can fuck with you as you try to navigate through adulthood on your own now.
Right.
And so him probably choosing to lead with drugs was his way to cope with a lot of maybe his childhood traumas. And I think that's what she was trying to get off. Like she feels like she understands him now that he's gone, because she learned, oh, he was doing drugs and shit, and I know he was a celebrity, and I know that he said stuff about his childhood trauma, but I probably just didn't take it as serious because I have the privilege to do so.
That's a very valid point. My problem with that is, what if she's fucking wrong, right?
Yes.
I smoke weed,
Yes.
right?
Intentions don't
I've
matter
had
sometimes.
shrooms before.
Yes.
Every time I had a shroom, I was trying to have a great fucking time.
Yeah.
So if I got into a car accident and didn't make it home, and somebody found those shrooms on me,
Yeah.
don't put that on my fucking childhood trauma, whether I have it or not.
Yeah.
Because that's not what it is. That Saturday night, I was having a good fucking night. And that's why it's not her business to tell everybody, because she doesn't know that. She doesn't know what it is. And I don't, did she say what the other drugs were that she had to research? Because I didn't
She didn't
find
say
what
what
they
those
were.
drugs. She did say
Right.
mushrooms.
Yeah, she specified
Right.
But
shrooms.
she
Right.
didn't say the other drugs that she had to research.
Right. So my thing is, I don't know if she had to research heroin or if it's something lesser than that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. So I can only judge it off the shrooms. That's some kind of normal, basic shit. Like, not normal, but like everybody not doing shrooms, but that's not heroin. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
it's
So
not
like,
crazy.
So that's not the point for her to take that and associate it with whatever. Because if he going in the guest house to smoke, why can't he smoke and eat a shroom and watch the game and play 2K and come back to you and take a shower? Like, that's normal shit. Like, for her to find it and come to her own conclusions about all of that, and like that's too much. And to do that publicly, when this man has a public image, and those kids are young and they're gonna grow up, and one day they just gonna grow up and want to Google their father, and this gonna be some of the last shit that pop up because you wanted to say, oh, he was on drugs and I found it and I was traumatized. Like,
So
it's other people you should be
so the
thinking
media
about.
did that. They ran with this addiction shit. She
But
didn't.
she
didn't
had to know they were going to. She
cool,
had to.
but it's also our responsibility, not us, but like the media, to be responsible with the way that they frame shit. And that's why you have a place like this for us to rewrite narratives.
So
But
Because
we
any
can't-
black
Look.
person who uses drugs is a drug
Is a
addict.
crackhead.
Like, exactly. It don't matter what you do, how often you do it, you a crackhead.
And I think
Yeah.
any white person that marries a black person and has kids with them should know that enough to not
To
put
be
that out there.
cautious, yeah.
You know what I'm
Clock that.
saying? And that's it. So I feel you. This shit just wasn't everybody's business.
Me
It's
personally,
like-
I'm not really too big on the whole disrespect. Like, I don't really care if you disrespect the dead. That's just me. Because I feel like the dead did dumb shit when they was alive. And so if you got bad shit to say because that's your impression of them, I'm not here to control how you talk about the dead. If I did some fucked up shit to you, I die, and you say, my man, she was actually poor as hell to me, I was poor as hell to you. That's your experience. And so if you say it publicly, I'm dead. I don't fucking care. But that's your truth. Other niggas alive, they care so much about what you say about the dead. I don't.
That's your opinion right now. When you don't, I think if you have children that are going to grow up and what they know of you is what other people are saying, I think you would have a much different opinion.
I don't know.
And you may not, but I think we have to respect that that's the position that man was in. And I don't think that that's what happened. Because my thing is, I don't think that the general public has to have that opinion. But as his wife,
Yeah.
I think she absolutely has to, because those are her kids. Like, and nobody should want their kids growing up thinking poorly of their other parent.
I think the
Like,
thing that makes me believe
facts.
her the most is because she didn't say anything bad about him. She only just talked about her discoveries after he passed. And
Yeah.
but even still, she still humanized him in those decisions. She understood why you would do it if you was doing this. Not like, damn. Like, I was waiting to hear her say, "Oh, this nigga committed suicide. He's so selfish. He left us behind." Like, she sounds like she found peace with the shit.
Yeah,
I
you
feel
want
like
to send me what you read.
It's the exact primary source of her interview with People's Magazine.
Yeah.
send
And
the
I
link.
think she's going.
I agree with her or your interpretation of how she felt. I just don't think that we needed to know that. I think like there are things that are more important than us knowing that she found peace.
I think that's
And,
easy for
like-
us to say because we're not public figures.
Exactly. And I also feel like she's going through her points of grievance. Like, as a human, we can't do everything right. Like,
Yes.
we can only do, we move based off of emotion. So she's moving based off of the fact that she's traumatized after finding something that she didn't know was going on, and that's her husband. They supposed to be like this, you know? So, like, I think she's going off of how she feels, and she probably doesn't really have much to clarify that because he's gone now.
Yeah.
So maybe she's trying, but at the same time, I feel like it's a place of a parent to think like, okay, social media is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, somebody's gonna take something and spin it.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, protecting his image for his kids to grow up with, but at the same time, it's like, what can you do?
I think she's in a sticky position.
Yeah,
Like,
it's sticky.
I understand what you want to do, but you got to realize it's the times that we live in, so you got to be real strategic with how you do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be. I feel like what she did choose to do is not the worst way she could have went about it.
I don't think it's the worst way at all. And I think the majority of what people's opinions are is based off that cousin or whoever it was making the post.
I think that was his
Right.
sister.
I don't know. I just
Yeah,
guessed for
I think it
real.
was his
But
sister, though.
you know, that the family member making the post really kind of shaped everybody's opinion of it for real. I think even more than People's Magazine did.
Yeah.
But I do feel like she's in a sticky position, but I feel more like the emotional response explanation of it if it was an Instagram post. You was sitting up sad one day and decided you wanted to tell everybody because you tired of people asking what happened. I could see that. By the time you decide to write a book and set up an interview with People Magazine to promote that book and talk about it, that's a little bit more than
it was more of a rational process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that like you thought that through and you thought that was the right thing to do, to go and say, oh, I found these other drugs, and then not even say what they are. And I think that's damn near the worst part because it could have been heroin.
Mm-hmm.
But it leaves the media to do what the media do.
Whatever they say it is now, that's just what it is going to be.
So what would you would have done if you know that it's drugs, but you don't want to say what type of drugs because you know they're going to call your man a crackhead? So do you just leave out drugs entirely, even though that's the premise of your discoveries is that he was doing a lot of more drugs than just weed? Like, what would you have done?
So right now, to answer that, I'm not, because I don't know what the drugs are, I don't know how significant those drugs are to how she's feeling.
Yeah.
So if she could have left it out, I would have.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how significant that is. Like if it was something very strong and she think that's what did it, then cool. Like I see the connection then, but not telling us, that's kind of,
it leaves us to do our dirty
But what if
work.
it was though?
right.
What if it was heroin? Like, I feel like
If it was, oh, I'm sorry.
good. I feel like regardless, don't talk about the drugs. Like, yeah, he was going through some.
I feel the
Because
same way.
it's, you know, a black person, you say they doing drugs, like you're not gonna specify on what drugs, you specify on weed, so that means everything other besides weed and shrooms is gonna
Right.
be crazy. So like bringing that up for people to use their assumptions is crazy to me. Like I feel like bring up the fact that he was going through something and you ain't know what he was going through and he was going through it by himself. Like that's a big reason for you to commit suicide, you know, like, and not having nobody to talk to for real that's gonna understand you. So I feel like she could have humanized him a little bit more.
Yeah, and I was gonna say if it was that, then that's even more of a reason not to fucking say it, right?
Exactly.
But
Or it is more of a reason to say it because you actually do want to advocate and help people get off of these drugs.
right,
Either
This is
one,
a tough situation.
Both of them, exactly. It's a sticky situation. It's like there's not one right way to have done the shit.
I think
I
the
don't think
only
she did
wrong
too-
way is saying that there are drugs and not saying what they are. Like you can't advocate for people getting off the drugs and not mention them.
I feel like
Like-
social media was still going to do what they're going to do and call that man a crackhead
Regardless.
regardless.
I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like white people don't know how much damage control it actually takes to protect the black man's image.
Mhm.
I
So
agree.
she might have
Oh,
thought like I'm gonna leave the other drugs out to save him.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're dealing with a black man, like we said earlier, you in the same room with drugs, you're a crackhead. So I just feel like she missed the mark on that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me, I also think I'm just different. We've already talked about the
Mhm.
dead on this pod before. I'm just not on that side. Like, if this was a poor human being, this was a poor human being, and I'm not about to be so respectful and PC just because they dead now.
But
I'm
look,
just not on that side.
You see how that explanation was given after we talk about this situation?
No.
And then you see what I'm saying? Like this shit shouldn't have came out.
It
Now, I'm
only-
not saying you're calling him a poor human.
nah.
I know that that's not what you were
Yeah.
saying. But if that's how you describe the logic behind the
Oh,
situation.
No, let me clean it up. Let me clean
Okay.
it up. Your truth is your truth. How you experience that person is not their business anymore. They allowed you to come into their life. Now you have a memory of them, and you could choose to share it if you want to. If it's bad or good, that's what it was, and they were in control of it. I'm not here to dictate how you experience that person. That's how they left.
And that I think
We're different.
very
di-
like, I'm like
we're
completely on the
different.
other side of that. Like I
Yeah.
feel like Jonesy should know nothing I didn't tell him. Like that'd be my thing. So like even if you say, oh yeah, Khyle got some weed, he gonna smoke with you later.
Yeah,
Let me tell him that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's how I feel about
Bayless.
shit. Like cause you don't know why I might not want him to know shit that I got going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I
You
could
know
be
what
the
I'm
weed
saying?
robber, and I know he got weed on him.
Right. And it could be something simple. Like, you know, oh shit. I told the nigga I'm on the way. I lied to him, told you the truth.
that's
If
also
I
his
didn't
wife.
tell him, I don't want him to know. Yeah, right. And that's with it being his wife, that's why it's like, damn, like that's the person that I trust to keep shit private when I'm clearly trying to. That's the thing. Like when it's something that they were clearly trying to keep private,
Yeah,
you don't like consider why they may have, or maybe she did consider that and that wasn't big enough for her.
yeah,
But I just disagree with that.
yeah. So,
like-
so this is where we differ with this. Is you disagree with that? I don't. I
Yeah.
don't disagree with it.
I
Yeah.
can see that. I feel like as a regular person, yeah, especially when it comes to like things that are gonna make you things that change your whole persona, like things that make you a bad person. Yeah, of course. And at the end of the day, then that's my point to be like, this is who I experienced, but this is also who this person was. But I feel like when you sign up for marriage and you putting on that ring and you signing that document to say you're married, I feel like that's what you sign up for. Like if that's the person that you love, why wouldn't you want to protect their image? And especially not even for the world, but for their children. Like the children are gonna grow up thinking like about drugs, and that's the last memory they're gonna have of their father. And I feel like that's just like it's a little sad.
I
Yeah.
laugh because I'm so different from y'all. Nobody knows this. I'll go ahead and say it because I
And,
think
and
it
I'm
adds.
actually in agreement with you.
Okay.
I'm like on the half and half.
Yeah. So this is something no one knows, but maybe Jonesy and Khyle. But I was engaged during the time of me being sick, right? I was engaged, and the person I was engaged to, she had nothing but great things to say about our relationship. When she'll be around other people, is always my girl's the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else that had relationship woes, oh, I don't connect with y'all, and then will come back to me and say, I'm so glad we don't go through the stuff that my friends be coming back to me with, right? But yeah, it turns out she actually has so many issues with me in a relationship, right? And so me, I always would try to center her back to, hey, stop saying that. We actually have real issues. Why do you keep saying that we're just so perfect to people?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's me trying to keep her in reality, because there are bad stuff that she can't say about our relationship. And I don't want her to be in la la land because she's escaping other people that have issues that she think is just really bad problems. And we just have communication issues, but they be cheating. So no, like, I don't, if she was to leave and go tell her truth, she can go do that because we did have issues. And I was the only one that was in real time saying, hey, we have these issues.
Right.
Mhm.
So I feel you.
Yeah.
But those see, I be more on her side. Like we don't need to tell nobody shit. You know, we can figure that shit out at home. Like fuck what you talking about? Like
Yeah.
yeah, we great, nigga. Like why do you need to know?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how
we
I feel
argued
about
this
it.
morning, but we good now,
Yeah,
bro.
you know. But the thing is, like what you were saying, she could go tell somebody. It's like, yeah, you can, but that's the thing. The issues that y'all had, I don't think were anything that you would feel like needed to be private necessarily, right?
That's-
Like not anything that you would have been ashamed of,
Yes.
right? When there is something that you know a person is feeling shame for in whatever kind of way, I think you got to carry that differently. And I think, and it's also like, there are different things. Like, is he feeling shame because he hit his wife and he don't want nobody to tell?
Mhm.
That's something different from this man has an addiction and he's struggling and he don't want people to know that.
Or
Those
his childhood
things-
traumas that he don't want nobody to know about.
Right. And if you tell everybody that, oh, he told me he got molested when he was a kid. Yeah, that's your experience. I
Exactly.
told you that. But it's like, how far does that fucking go?
Mhm.
Where it's like, yeah, you did have to sit with me when I was crying one night talking about that. But that you get to say that just because I'm dead now? Like,
Yeah, why
Yeah.
we need to know?
you know what I'm saying? Right. Like some shit.
Yeah,
does
it's all in
stay
the why
private.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in the why and
Yeah.
in the intent.
What's
If-
crazy, we start off the episode with talking about what are the ain't shit stuff that we do.
Mhm.
I think that's what you just said. Like, none of the shit I went through with my engagement, I'm ashamed to talk about it because I'm not doing stupid shit. And so people don't want you to speak about the dead because the dead was doing stupid shit and it's shameful. You can say
Sometimes.
anything you want about me because I know it's not gonna be some shit that I would care about. I know what I was doing on this earth, and it's never gonna be what a lot of you niggas are doing.
So like you never got too mad at somebody and cussed them out like worse than you felt like
That's
you
my
should have?
issue. I don't.
Never.
Never.
Like
I
not one
don't.
time ever.
I don't.
Definitely
That's
spazzed
my
over
issue.
some people worse
And I don't
than I
think
should
that's
have.
something that's
right?
shameful.
Yeah,
You know what
no.
I'm saying? Okay, so not like you never felt bad about it. Like, yeah, damn, like, nobody. All right, maybe I just got too
Yeah,
much.
but
No,
on
I
I
don't
fucking
think
heart.
that's-
I
Like,
don't.
I
But
feel
damn,
I
you know
don't
what I'm
think
saying?
it's
I def-
shameful though.
Yeah.
No, like okay, so like that, you know. So I look at it, right? If I yell at my little sister, I would feel bad later,
Right.
You know? And I don't
You
want nobody
should.
to talk about that, you know.
Yeah, no.
I
So,
feel
like,
that.
the basic shit like that, right? Where I'm saying like some shit you can not want brought up, not want talked about,
Mhm.
but it's still not nothing that make me a bad fucking person.
Mhm.
That level
Right.
where it's like it don't matter what I feel, it don't matter what I want people to know because you shouldn't have did that. Like nah, some shit I don't want people to know, but it don't have to reach that level where my privacy don't matter no more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's dead or alive, honestly. Like I can personally relate to Kyle's situation because I've been through a situation where I done went off on somebody after time and time, like trying to speak to them, and that situation just got blown out of proportion, and that's because my privacy was not protected. And I feel like even if I'm alive, sitting here right in front of you, would you tell somebody else what your spouse did or your friend did, like something that's so private and they don't feel like everybody should know? Like at that point, I'm sitting here right in front of you, and I wouldn't snitch on my friend like, oh yeah, they did this, if it's not something that's detrimental to my lifestyle or my being or something that's traumatic for me. Like I wouldn't snitch. I feel like it's
I don't
a
know why
form
y'all
of
call it
snitching.
snitching.
Yeah, I don't think it's
I feel like
snitching.
it's a form of snitching because like that's something they want in private.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
fine. If they want it private, they want it private. If you choose to go disclose that, then you're not being a good friend. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the dead. That's all we talking about is the dead right now.
And you giving your experience on
Yes,
the dead.
how you
yeah.
experienced that person when they were alive, and you just sharing your truth. That's it. We ain't talking. That's
Yeah,
not
I'm in full-
snitching.
that's why I say half and half. Because
Yeah.
like if I discover something after someone dies that they didn't not even disclose to me, but well shit, fuck it. They didn't disclose it to me. I'm not gonna disclose it to someone else.
Mhm.
That's gonna die with me.
Mhm.
Just like it died with them.
I understand that. I understand it.
Yeah.
It could go both ways, definitely.
All right, we're gonna move on from this one.
That's how I feel on it. Your secrets are gonna die with me too.
So, a NICU nurse from Virginia.
I thought you was gonna say something with Nick Cannon.
No, a NICU.
I thought you was
Let's
gonna say a
talk about
nigga at first.
Damn it, y'all! Damn,
My
a
fault,
NICU
let me-
nurse from Virginia. Do y'all know her name? Look it up while I'm speaking because this hoe needs her name to be
I'm about
announced.
to see. I'm about to see.
She was a white nurse from Virginia. She worked at a NICU and she went around breaking babies' bones. Right
Black babies.
now, I'm going to go ahead and debunk that. I've done my research on it.
Aaron Elizabeth Ann Stratman. Damn.
All right, fuck you,
Oh,
bitch.
she white as hell. That's
Yeah.
two middle names.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Aaron Elizabeth Ann Stratman.
Elizabeth Ann.
I was waiting on the name to end.
She got a middle name like Elizabeth Ann. You know she
Yeah.
hate niggas.
Yeah, you gotta. She white. You can't call her. You gotta call her a cunt. That hurts their feelings more.
I agree.
So, you said Elizabeth.
Yeah, Elizabeth
Okay.
Stratman.
So she is currently on trial right now. Well, not the trial hasn't started, but she has been charged with child abuse. And what's the other one? Let me scroll and get it real quick.
No, her name
So-
is Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron.
Okay, so
That's not what I said.
No, you just said Elizabeth. This
Aaron
last time.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Right, it's Aaron Elizabeth.
Aaron
Ann.
Elizabeth.
See,
Yeah.
my fault. My fault.
right.
Too many names.
we will call her Aaron.
Mhm.
God damn it, move. So she is currently facing 10 years in prison for a felony child abuse charge and up to 20 years for malicious wounding charge. She basically was going through, babies were being born in that hospital, and she was secretly going crack their bones.
That's crazy.
And
Fucking insane.
Black or white,
insane
it's
as fuck.
crazy.
So
This is a hard read.
I don't know who told black people this, but black people don't give a fuck. They said that she was only doing black babies. It's not true. The only commonality between these babies is that they were all boys, but they were different ethnicities. They weren't only just black.
Oh,
So I'm
it was
just
the
going
black
ahead-
man in the news who said it was their baby.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a black couple
The
in the
black man in
news.
the news said it
Goddamn.
happened to his baby.
That's
Everybody
us, though.
said it was
That's
all the
us.
black
I can't
babies.
stand them sometimes.
Goddamn,
Look.
Dominique Khaki.
Look, you know,
My
that's
boy.
fucked up. I believed it. I believed it. You seen my post.
Yes, I saw your post.
You
I'm
seen
like, oh
it.
my god.
Look, I believe. 'Cause that just show you how fucked up white people being to us. That somebody say they going there trying to break black babies' bones, and you like, fuck it. What else? You know, like
Believable as fuck.
yeah, it made perfect sense. I'm like, what's next? You
You know
know,
what I'm saying? They gave the Tuskegee Airmen syphilis. Like, why wouldn't they break babies' bones?
Yeah.
you know, like.
Whew, my god.
I mean, it being all boys is different. I don't know if that makes it any better.
it don't
No,
make
Like,
it
it any
doesn't.
better.
Yeah.
Regardless of the
But
gender or the
this-
ethnicity.
Yeah,
I'm glad it. I can't even say that that's terrible. No, but it was not all black babies.
you just glad that some of them white.
no, I'm just glad that we was able to find the truth. Okay.
Okay.
So her dumbass, it was a particular family that's being investigated before they add their case to the charges. Because currently she's only been proven to have done this to one family.
Yeah, and that's
But
the hackies.
they've been doing intensive research to figure out how many other families have been affected by this. And one particular one, they had twins that were being born, and the father, he took so much of the he was so hard on himself because the babies had to be rushed off to NICU after they were born because they already were having complications before delivering the baby, and he didn't choose to hold the baby. So he felt like, damn.
No, Buddy was fucked up.
Yeah, he was fucked up
Mhm.
over this shit. And so, what I was about to say. So this is an ongoing investigation. So they're trying to figure out how many others were affected by her doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I guess want to talk about the racial component of this. We already debunked it. It ain't just black babies. But if we had to figure out why boys, why all boys?
Something happened to her. License revoked.
Possibly, I think social media is affecting a lot of people. She 26, real close to our age, and I think a lot of people our age have been online for too long, where the things that you see all the time over and over again, you start to see that as just the world. And I just think, especially now with all these fucking algorithms and shit showing you the same thing back to back, I think, she's probably thinking that she's saving the world or something. I'm gonna make these men weak so that they don't become predators or some
Ooh, did
silly
you
shit
see
like
my
that.
bad,
You
Khyle.
know? Yeah.
I can see that.
Did you see the discourse? I'm sorry, it ties in.
Yeah.
But the discourse on Twitter this week was how like dangerous boys are,
yeah.
and
right.
how women were. It was either have a girl or have an abortion if it's a boy.
Yeah.
So to tie all this together, Shorty probably tweaked out like them people on Twitter are,
Yeah.
and now she thinks she's doing a good cause by messing with little baby boys.
I feel like that is mentally unstable because it always relies on the parents and how they raise. Like I'm gonna use my example because it's my man, but Cortland, he's a very good example of a male. Like males can be.
Wish we had a camera on him.
No,
Yeah,
for
no,
real.
Cordo was raised.
Right,
Like,
it's-
some
it-
niggas just exist.
Exactly, and it starts with the parents and the parents of the parents. But I think that's mentally unstable because you looking at a baby, a precious, pure baby, and you like, well,
Just came out the
this
coochie. Yeah.
Oh.
First
Do you know how
experience is pain. That's
Yeah.
so sad.
for real.
Broken bone pain. Like
Yeah,
it ain't
that's
even
so
like some
sad.
natural life
Yeah.
shit.
And this pissed me off so much because I witnessed my niece actually bone was broke through trying to get her big head ass out.
Mhm.
And that was so traumatizing, like so scary.
Yeah.
So many nurses was trying to make sure she was cool, and she had to like keep her arm stable for like some months so that it can heal. So I know these babies was really going through it, and the person intentionally choose to fucking break your limb.
And I don't know how true it is. What they were saying, that like since babies and they newborns like that, their bones are soft.
Yes.
So it takes like a lot of fucking effort to break their bone.
Yes.
So like what the fuck was she in there doing?
And she was breaking the bones that's down like towards their feet too. And what I saw, that's like the thickest part of your bone or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
so she was intentionally going in there like trying to take these boys out.
She was playing.
Insane shit.
That is very insane.
But I know you said you wanted to discuss the racial component. I don't know if anybody else was thinking it, but I was thinking about how this white nurse that did this is not going to become a representation of all white women and say that we can't trust white women around babies no more.
Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you. I wanted to speak to that.
When it's like, I know if I did anything to a baby, it's going to, any black man does anything, it's black men like this.
Yep.
When white men do it, it's men. And then when white women do it, it's that white woman.
That one person.
Yep. We talked about this last episode.
I don't think we touched on that specifically, but maybe, possibly.
Yeah, you had talked about how you don't like that they bunch us all together.
Yeah.
So,
And I did talk about how we shouldn't have to be representation of all of our people, but I was thinking of it from the perspective of how they never are, right? Yeah. And it's like, when do we get to start doing that? Especially when, if you look statistically, a lot of the things that we're afraid of black people doing, they have higher rates of doing. Like, breaking babies' bones and shooting up schools
Crazy
and shit
white
like
people
that.
stuff.
Using welfare.
Right. Using welfare, real life example. But it's like, when do those things get to become representation of white people?
So I think that's dependent upon us choosing to make that be that.
Exactly.
So you have to actively choose, hey, this is what they do to us, so I'm going to do it back to them.
No.
And everybody else got to do it too so that it works.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
you
all
get
get on welfare.
the framing of it, not the breaking the babies.
No,
I'm with you.
right.
That's why I was like, no, I do agree. I do agree.
If we want to make all the white bad apples be the representation of all the apples, then we have to do it ourselves. I'm personally not going to choose to spend my life doing that.
Right.
But that's the only way. If
See,
you
I feel like I'm not, my bad. I feel like I'm not spending my life doing it. I just spend my life avoiding them because of that. And I feel like I wanted people to understand what I mean when I say that. Like, I shouldn't have to explain that I don't want to spend time searching for a needle in the haystack, finding a safe white person. But people seem to think that that's this crazy radical thought. But it's like, look at the shit that they be doing. Y'all are literally breaking the bones of babies because you thought that was the right thing to do.
Well,
Ain't nobody say,
there's no such
I can't
thing
trust
as
none of
safe
these white
people.
women. No such thing as safe white people.
I don't think so. Even after serving in the military. Like,
I
my
agree.
closest white people, like my colonizer cousin. No. Everything has its limits, bro. I know there's something that can, turn you around and switch you against me.
Okay.
Nah,
I'm going to be
gang.
the stand up. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. And I really don't have like a good history with palm color folks. I ain't gonna lie. But my stepfather, he's actually a white man.
Learn something new
Now,
every
what
day.
kind of white is he?
He is Irish white.
Oh, he white as fuck.
He's
Well, he
white.
nigga white.
He be at the pub.
He could pass. Not by looks,
He
but by
ain't Jewish,
personality.
is he?
No.
Okay, yeah, he nigga white.
He not nothing. If we're gonna be honest, he's atheist. We're gonna leave it there. We're not even gonna touch on that subject.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I do feel like we could, as a people, as a community, be like, okay, this white person did this. Or even let's bring it to Karens. Okay, I see a bad Karen. Now they all Karens. And I'm not gonna say that because white people can be cool sometimes. They could come to the chill.
Don't do it.
Like the backyard party, they could come.
No,
But
Jenna, stop.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
stopping you right there.
I can't.
Stop inviting these niggas to our spaces. They can be outside in the car like Travis Hunter and wait for their ally to come out and drive home together.
They don't
don't
invite
have
us to the
be-
potluck.
They don't got to be in the crib.
You
with
know?
I
us.
hear you, but it gives perspective.
I ain't had no
It gives
casserole.
perspective.
Potluck.
Yes, we can get perspective if we're working on the group project in school. I don't need you to come to this Jew party with me.
Yeah.
Nah.
But look,
Yeah,
I
you
think
definitely can't
that's
come to my space. And
That's
my
the
thing-
issue right there,
Yeah.
though. Like,
Oh shit.
we expect them to. We expect equality, and we expect them to see us as human beings. We don't ever want them to see us.
No.
Wait, hold on.
No.
See, here's the thing. Hold on. I
thing.
don't expect them to see us. I don't expect shit out of them. And that's the thing. That's what I want niggas to understand.
Yes.
Stop expecting goodness out of white people.
Yes.
You wasting your motherfucking time.
Just let them
Like,
exist. Let
that-
them
We
that's
exist.
just
it, right?
we just talked
Right?
about this off
and, that's-
camera.
and I'm not even saying that like they can't come around. You just have to prove it first. And I'm real diligent.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all. That's all.
I
My
think one of the-
vetting process, I'm like motherfucking FBI.
Yeah, I think one of the greatest quotes ever. Morgan Freeman was asked, "How do we deal with the issue of racism?"
Uh-huh.
He replied, "Stop talking about it."
And you know, I was so disappointed in him when he said that.
Yes.
As long as
I
we
remember
continue-
the quote.
Is
I
it-
didn't think I was capable of being disappointed in Morgan Freeman until he said that.
Yeah,
Morgan Freeman, a wild man.
I didn't know. I
Gee,
just
them
I see the
old
movies.
black dudes.
I just see the movies. I don't know shit.
but look,
Yeah.
think,
You know?
think about it though. The more energy you give to a particular notion, the stronger it'll get, right? The more it'll become reality. And so the more we continue to think about this divide, the more it'll become apparent.
I think
so you're
that
saying-
applies to things that don't already
Think,
exist.
think about the United States in general, the way we see it on a map, right? We think these lines actually do exist. But when you see Earth from space, for those of us that don't believe in a flat Earth, it's just a continent. But these lines and these borders genuinely exist in our minds. And the more we begin to see that in a racial aspect, the more it'll feel. So if we tell people that they can't come to the cookout, we can't come to the potluck or the gathering, you know what I'm saying? Then we'll begin to see that, bro. But if somebody who genuinely stands on the notion that color doesn't exist, right? You know, you hear a lot of white people say that, I don't see color.
Yeah,
Or black people say, I don't see color. Yeah, it is, because we do see color,
Yeah.
right?
Facts.
You know, I know a light-skinned person from a dark-skinned person from a white person, right?
Yeah.
But I think the more energy we give to that divide, then obviously we'll find a issue with the next man.
I'm
That
sure you
doesn't
got
look
The
like
to.
us.
only reason that I can't subscribe to that is because of systemic racism.
Mhm.
Like we're not racist, but we're just gonna make it to where the people that fall under these guidelines can't get access to certain shit, and those people
Mhm.
just happen to be black.
Mhm.
And
Right.
and you know who is not talking about racism? The racists. The racists are not talking about racism. They're just talking about the. Can I say that? They gonna flag us? They're
question.
just
You said
talking.
it already.
Edit it. They gonna talk about the N words, and they gonna teach their kids the N word with the hard R, and they're not ever gonna talk about racism. And if we don't talk about racism, eventually racism is not going to exist because we don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Not because it's not going to affect us on the day to day. Because they're gonna keep teaching their kids what the fuck they teaching them.
Mhm.
That's gonna happen because we weren't giving any energy to racism when they brought our ass over here. When they decided they was gonna fake let us free in the motherfucking Jim Crow era, we wasn't giving. We was giving the energy to racism then because we fucking had to, and that's what I'm saying. Like we can't manifest some shit that's already here.
And then to your
Right.
point, them the niggas talking about it. The racists. Them the ones talking about it. Them the ones educating people on it. Them the ones passing on their ideologies. The ones that's not talking about it are really in fear. You should, like, I've been in, like, me personally, like, I don't have, I have white family that's pretty distant, of course. But there's Caucasian individuals that I've done business with that's really blessed me and imparted into my life.
Yeah.
Not having to, right? It wouldn't have been no benefit for them. They did it genuinely from off the strength per se. And so the ones that's really talking about it are the ones who actually want to push the notion that, you know, black people are bad, profile them,
Right.
look at them in this particular regard. But the ones that aren't talking about it, that still feel I would say the residue of it, right? Like after any tragic event, let's say slavery, it's gonna be some residue left over. Like everybody still go feel a little tense. Everybody still go feel a little bit of animosity in the air, even though they don't speak on it. This may be a hot take, but they're more scared and aware of it than we are at times. They watch their words. They watch the things they say. They watch the way they treat us. They try to be, sometimes they come off as overly inviting, right? Trying to make us feel super welcome.
As soon as you come around, they turn on Power 92.
Hey, how's it going? You look at them, they do that funny smile we all joke
You
about.
go first, Cal.
You know
Then
what I'm
I'll
saying?
go second.
And so they you know what I'm saying? So it is, and it's because of the notion that we built that, like, okay, y'all against us, y'all need to treat us this way. That way we deserve extra treatment. We need what's the word? Reparations, this and that, which is cool. I'm not combating any of that. But I just feel like it'll never this issue will never cease to exist until we see things from the other side and they see things from our perspective as well.
All right.
I just want to say something quick because I
Go
think
ahead,
you
yep.
could, because I think you're gonna
We
back
finna-
me up
we
on
finna
this,
fuck Cortland
or
up.
at least elaborate. But I feel like white people have a privilege of not talking about racism because it's their shit. You know what I'm saying? So
The-
Kyle, you can go ahead and get your spiel
Right.
because I know you finna cook.
Yeah, so I have had those experiences with white people, right? Who have, invited me in, welcomed me in, all of that, right? And with them, I always talk to them about other white people to see how the fuck they felt. And that's what I mean. But you got to prove it. So I know that there are some white people who completely understand everything, right? But it's not the majority of them. And even some of those who do understand, they go back and sit with the racists who are teaching their kids the wrong shit.
Yeah.
Right? And don't hold them accountable. Don't tell them about shit because they exercise that privilege. They don't have to talk about that shit. They don't have to, they know they just got to get through Thanksgiving. And they can go home and with their wife and talk about Tommy being MAGA and shit. Or they might all be sitting around making TikToks doing the dumbass Trump dance together. Right? Like, so the idea that they are being submissive to us, and you didn't say submissive, but like that's just a
In
word to
fear.
summarize it, right? Like in fear because of the notion that we built. It's like we have not described the horrors that they have put us through adequately enough. So the things that we have said, and they still ain't gave us shit, still ain't got the reparations and all of that, right?
And they still sit with the
Like
the racists.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So the things that we have said, it's not, it's like, I don't think that we should say less. We got to say more. We got to expand on all of these things that we do know already, because the people, like you said, you have the white people who are not racist and you have white people who are racist. The white people who are not racist aren't talking about it. And the white people who are racist are still pushing it and teaching it.
Okay,
So
let me put you in a scenario.
we can't change
Hold
it.
on, because we
Real
gotta
quick.
get past this.
All right, real quick. Let me put you in a
I
scenario.
wanted to ask a question.
You married the love of your life, right?
That's a black woman in your scenario.
Okay, for sure.
Okay,
That's a
I
black
just had to
woman.
make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You married the love of your life. She a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? She got some flaws to her. But because of time spent with her, you understand that these are things that aren't necessarily deal breakers for you. Now, she don't like your mama. Your mama don't like her.
Ooh.
Your family don't like her. Who you sitting with? Are you still going to continue to have a relationship with the both of them? Or are you going to disown one and choose one over the other?
You said this
Mind
is
you-
wife?
Yeah, this is wife. Mind you, this is your family. You love them. You've been through thick and thin with them. They've been there for you.
Yeah,
love
can
them,
I ask?
right?
Can I
But
build
they
some
just
context?
don't like your woman. Go ahead.
When did this not liking his wife start?
Yeah.
It
From
would
the-
have
from
to
the
start
jump.
after the marriage.
From
Yeah.
the jump, first impression.
Oh,
from the jump.
then she would have never
She would've
became
never
wife.
made it.
Yeah, she
Right.
just wouldn't have been.
So, which one do you disown, or do you play both sides?
No, see, the thing is, if they didn't, so the story has to
Yeah.
start at the point that I met her. If I met her and I knew already that they weren't going to get along, and I chose to do that anyway, then my family should look at me like I'm dead ass wrong.
Yeah.
And I believe that.
Yeah.
So the thing is, and the thing with
look,
the white
not
people,
going off how
we
your
knew from
family
the
look
beginning.
at you. I'm talking about what is your response? I don't care how anybody
My
look
response
at you.
is I'm sticking with my fucking family. I don't know you. Like, there's never, if I already
It's your
know
wife.
that,
You
it's-
married.
But okay, so then the only way that the scenario works is if they were cool until we were already married.
Yeah.
And if something happened at that point, I feel like that doesn't apply to black people and white people, because from the beginning we knew that there was an issue that was started from one side.
But you got to
right?
understand how they look
So-
at one another, right? Like two white people, like brotherhood is as strong as marriage. So you see, you got a white person who, let's say, develops a relationship, and I'm not saying it got to be romantic. They develop a relationship with black people, or just a thought toward black people. They see them as human beings, and they know they're a little crazy. They get a bad rap, whatever, all the stuff in the media, what's it called, stereotypes, whatever. So they still choose to treat these people as human beings. Can you fault them for still mingling with their community?
So to wrap this up, because I'll just respond. If I have to choose to create a podcast so that we can hold our community accountable, they can also choose to not fuck with their dad and mom the same way I have to go no contact. That's certain decisions that you have to make if you know that you have something that you want to see different in the world. You have to be the solution as well. If you don't fuck with racism, but your dad is racist as fuck, daddy bye-bye. It's going to be a process. It's going to be hard. It's my father. But you got to take the steps to build that peace and what you want to see in the world. You can't just abide to it.
Most of them don't even say, Dad, you're wrong.
Yeah,
they don't even start there.
They don't challenge.
And that's my thing. Like, y'all sit around and fraternize. It's not even like I'm tolerating you. Y'all go choose to be around them people.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we don't talk about it, that shit is going to continue to work against us in ways that we don't even see coming, in the ways that we didn't see this shit coming the first time.
These white celebrities, they talk about how they love their black girlfriends because they're so liberated. You have the choice to be the same way. You can say no to Chad. Chad doesn't have to fuck you and marry you just because y'all been told that y'all got to get married as soon as y'all get out of college. Like, you can say no to Chad. You can break those traditions the same way we also have to do the same things. Some of those traditions are bad. Break them. You just got to choose to do it. You're scared. The in fear that you're talking about, that's the in fear that I think white people go through, is they're in fear to break traditions and the stuff that they were taught in their upbringing.
They're in fear of each other.
You got to, yeah, they are. And that leads to this next topic. So the LA fires that has been destroying LA for the past week, a lot of commentary in regards to white people are them blaming these fires on the fire chief. So the fire chief is a white lesbian woman. And in white people terms, she's a butch.
Now, is that offensive?
In white people terms, she's a butch. So I don't speak white people language.
Okay.
So if it's offensive,
We talked about this off camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
just
so
don't
for the
wanna
black
repeat it.
people, butch is stud in our community. So white people call them butches, right? And she also has other peers in the force that are also similar to her. And so you got this whole thing. It's on the news where they're debating about DI. This is a DEI hire, the chief. She's a DEI hire.
Mm-hmm.
And she is a poor leader. If it was a white man taking and tackling these fires, it would have been figured out yesterday. That has been the commentary amongst white men in media.
Sounds like America.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you go through her resume is crazy. She deserves to be in that position based off just what she's done with herself, right? I'm not here to defend white women. That's never going to be my place, but I am here to defend just women. So when we talk about living in fear, this is where I get that. White women are in fear of white men. White men are at the top of the totem pole in America when you talk about white supremacy. After white men, then is white women, and then after that is everything, and then at the bottom is black people. That's how it is in America. If you actually do fucking research, you will realize that is the order of operations of who gets benefits here first, right? And so white women, they don't fight against the system because they're second up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they benefit from it too.
They're second up. It's very comfortable. I benefit from this shit. Why would I fuck it up?
That's why they do a little light complaining.
Yeah.
And
That's why they gay husbands can be gay and be closeted and fuck on niggas and they still keep the family going. Because if I don't, I'm going to be homeless and poor just like you.
Right.
So.
Hey, that's a sentence.
That's why they don't go against their family.
Yes.
Daddy paying for everything. Shit, I don't care if he don't like black people and my husband black.
Yeah. I could go on a whole tangent. I'm gonna stop myself, but this whole like DEI shit, bro. I'm tired of listening to this shit. It's like listen to a white person use the word woke. Like
which all feels like them using NIGG.
Yes.
I'm trying not to get us flagged
Yes.
with the hard R. It all feels the same.
Yeah.
And this one, she ain't even black.
Yeah.
So, but it still,
Yeah,
it still feels the same.
Exactly.
It's like it's just the cover up. So whatever they really wanted to call her, they just throw that on there and then up her in there with us. And that's the crazy thing that like you were talking about the thing, the
The
totem
totem
pole of
pole.
white
Mhm.
supremacy. It's like they don't understand that the way that they put everybody else down is to throw them in there with us
Mhm.
because everybody looks at us like we the worst possible thing to be.
Mhm.
And it's like, and they don't even be getting that when they pull the I'm a minority because I'm gay. Okay.
Yeah, but you still
I'll-
above us.
I'll let you have
still
it.
a-
You
yeah.
still white.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know, like they don't even get that. Like, and that's just ridiculous to me.
If American citizens, Black American citizens were the only ones that were gay, they were the only ones that part of the LGBT, we would never be able to marry each other. It would
we'll be in
we have
slavery.
never.
We'll be in
like
slavery.
it's because white gay men wanted to get married. That's why people got liberated.
Yeah, old birds fell.
Yes.
I hate to see America if only black people was gay.
Yeah.
Boy.
Man,
Boy.
I can't imagine the shit they would say about us then.
Oh
Shit,
my
imagine they would
gosh.
do.
Man,
But
this
to
shit's
get back on the
ridiculous.
fires though, this
Yeah.
whole time I didn't have my tin hat on, so I'm gonna let y'all lead. I don't want to sound too crazy.
you
So,
know, hey,
First, before we even get into any dives, just prayers to everybody affected by these fires. It's a very
Facts.
unfortunate event, and I really hope
Yeah.
everyone can recover from the losses.
even the rich people,
Even
Yes,
everybody,
especially
even
the
the
rich
rich people, like
Even
losing your
them.
home is fucking crazy.
Yes.
That's nigga. Go, imagine if we all finna leave and go home.
Yeah.
Imagine if you just fucking couldn't,
Damn.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, damn. Like, the people in there acting like, oh, they rich, they okay.
They'll be okay.
That shit is so dumb. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
damn.
somewhere in LA is a rich man with his family going to sleep in the gym with him, and I'm finna go to the fucking hood.
Yeah, you know. Like,
I should be what's the word?
Compassionate.
Compassionate for them because he don't have a house in the hood to go home to.
Mhm.
right.
Bro, and them some cribs too. Like Hollywood Hills on fire too, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like them some expensive
That
cribs.
fire did not care.
As
Whoever
much.
can get it got it.
Yeah.
Insurance companies finna have a interesting workload.
Did y'all hear about the fact that the insurance companies stopped?
That's on the list right
Mhm.
here. Yes. So they are speculating that this is by the hands of arsons. There were videos that people were on live showing that they were starting fires. And so that is kind of where the speculation is currently, that where they're investigating. They think that this was all because of arson starting this shit. It's very common for LA to experience wildfires because of it being extremely dry
Yes, that's
temperament.
dry heat.
Yes. And so for it to get that crazy, when you look at just the geological map of LA, doesn't make as much sense because it's not enough forestry there to really take over the way that it did.
Right.
Mhm.
So that's why they thinking arsons, and there's also video footage of niggas doing shit on camera.
Mhm.
So they're investigating that stuff. But the thing that Congress and a lot of people are now talking about is just the insurance companies not paying out people that are affected that all have been paying insurance this entire time for home renters insurance.
Yeah. And that shit is insane.
Yeah.
Like, insurance, everybody know. We've all been saying insurance is a scam forever.
Bullshit.
But
I ain't
if
even
I
said
can
that.
pay for insurance that's supposed to cover a fucking fire, and then a fire happens and you say, no, we're not covering it no more, then what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't even have a fucking explanation for no shit like that. And I came here to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I did my research, I read about it, but like, what the fuck do you say when they just say no? Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
They
It's
should
Because-
just
like-
gone at that point. What's
in
up, Jenna?
California, just like you said, they're dry type of environment. Of course, fire insurance should be something that is like
I
That
think,
should be
I
like
think
car
it is
insurance.
a mandate there. Like you
Yeah.
have to have
but
it.
for that to be. I seen this lady, this old lady. She was paying for her house for like 63 years. They've been living there for a long time, and not too long before the fire, it was canceled. They
Mhm.
like, okay, we don't cover this no more. So I feel like that's something crazy because like it's like kind of the same situation as Maui. That's kind of how I think they're a little bit similar. Like, why would you take something away in a place that needs that and it's a mandate? It's the why.
So I think this is where legal action comes in to a suit, like some type of class action against those said companies. I feel like you just got to read through the stipulations of your terms that you set up with your insurance, because I can see how they can try to flip it and say, oh, if arson started this shit, then it wasn't just natural cause, and so we
Mhm.
can't cover you.
Mhm.
But I don't know what everybody terms is with their insurance. So I can see them having loopholes to not pay out, but it's not right.
Yeah, just imagine
Stealing.
I could see there being a difference between a fire set by arson and a wildfire.
Yeah.
But since they haven't confirmed that there's been anything, they're just denying the claims. They're not saying we need evidence, postponed and shit. They're saying no.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a whole different thing. And at that, it is like, at what point, I don't know if we can answer this today, but at what point does a fire that is set on purpose become a fucking wildfire? Like, how many houses does it have to destroy before it is a wildfire?
Yeah,
Exactly.
because at a
And
certain
it's not
point, it
just
became
arson
just a wildfire.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and so that whole insurance thing is just ridiculous. You know, I hope they do something about it, but there have been a lot of conspiracies. I'm gonna put my 10 hat on if you don't want to do it.
I mean, you can kick it off, man.
Man, I got my 10
They're
hat.
saying
Club
that
culture fans
it's
don't
the,
like my.
it's the
we not
motherfucking
do
insurance
that.
company setting the fires.
Exactly.
And whatever they gonna make from buying all this land up and shit after, then it's gonna be what worth paying
Way
out that little
more,
class
yep.
action. But this shit, well, we all gonna get. Well, not we. They all gonna get $50.
They're
you
gonna
know.
draw up a $500 million class action lawsuit, turn around and buy all them burnt up plots of land for pennies, and then just put fucking cribs on them again.
Right. And sell them. Like that. It sounds like, you know, the perfect fucking plan if that's what happened. I just don't know. I can't put that on nobody. I saw some wild shit they was talking about. They burned it down to rich people homes to hide shit. Like that. Though they was talking about. I guess Diddy home burned down.
DDG said he ain't had home insurance.
Yeah, I saw
fire
that.
insurance.
he said he ain't have it. But you know, Diddy home burned down. So that they talking about, oh, they trying to hide shit. Like they not go. Diddy ain't burned down everybody.
I was gonna say Diddy ain't that powerful, bro.
Diddy ain't do that. Like, this shit crazy. But I do think the insurance companies are.
that
The
makes
insurance
sense.
companies can get a few niggas to go light some fires.
I think they
like-
use laser beams.
Hey,
I seen
That's
something
just
like
where
that.
my hat comes in at.
I seen
saw
something
a
like that,
video.
y'all.
You
And
I
that's
really
not even
think
the
it's
first
some laser
time with
beams
You
out
don't
Malcolm
have to
too.
explain that to me. How do you use a laser beam to start a fire?
I mean, you create a laser
Okay.
that's powerful enough to start a fire.
So some little pin that you point at some shit. Like that's how I visualize a laser beam.
Yeah, like the same kind of thing, just powerful as fuck.
You put it
Okay.
on the drone.
large.
Maybe it has a barrel on the drone, and you shoot the lasers out like a
Okay.
boom boom, like the guns on Star Wars.
Okay. All right.
But
'Cause
I ain't never seen that before.
Yeah.
what about
I
these
don't
What, Star
know if
Wars?
that's-
sized
no,
planes?
I haven't seen
though?
that either.
Oh, I mean,
But-
I haven't either, but I know
you
the
know.
guns.
Yeah, but I mean like no big ass beam with a laser that can start the fire. I haven't seen. I don't know if that
That
exists.
sound like Doofenshmirtz or
Yeah.
or platypus.
I just
Yeah.
think those exist, bro. I truly think something like
but
that
I did
exists.
see the video. They had like a smaller one that started like little small fires. So I don't know if they got a big one that can start a big ass wildfire, but I also don't know how small a fire needs to be that it can become a wildfire.
Like, think about
Right.
electric lighters. Now, take an electric lighter and concentrate it through a barrel and power it somehow.
Exactly.
Laser beam.
Like even let me okay. You know how you use your glasses? We used to do this as kids. You use your glasses and you point it at a certain position and it'll start a fire or it'll burn an ant or you know?
I always saw it on cartoons, but could never do it.
It's real life. I've tried it before.
I could
Even
never
with a
do it.
little
You burn the ant?
the glass that you use to
the
see stuff.
magnifying
Yes,
glass.
a
Yeah, I could
magnifying
never do
glass.
it.
That's how people used to start fires. And I feel like also if such big things like a hydro collider exist, why wouldn't they monopolize on being able to create a fire with the glass?
That's
Like-
what I'm saying. Come on, man. Come on. It's laser
Hey,
beams.
Y'all can have the conspiracies, man. I ain't digging that deep. I just hope they figure this out and stop. I also hope that white women see how they're being spoken about from their white
peers.
and they do something about it instead of just letting it rock.
I don't have no hope for that because they've been getting spoken about in all kind of crazy ways, and they turned around and voted for Trump ass again.
Well, this is for the
But,
white listeners
you
that's
know.
watching this podcast that will only get that hope message. I
Yeah,
hope
well-
that y'all do something about it.
She got hope for y'all. I don't.
Mhm.
But we fuck the conspiracies. We do know them niggas ain't got no water,
What
and
you-
they right
Oh, yeah, okay.
they
yeah,
right
yeah.
there by the fucking ocean, and ain't nobody figured out.
So
Well,
they're
you'll
like-
fuck the land up
I
doing
know
that.
they can't do that, right? But I'm saying like where because there was some more shit they was talking about, like with the budget that they cut and shit, and that's why they don't have the water that they supposed to have because they didn't get the money that they needed.
I saw something that says that there's people that own water in LA.
Yeah, and that's some crazy shit too. That's the people
Yeah.
that own Fiji and some more shit.
Yeah, and they're not. Hey, use my water. That's what I saw.
Yeah, those. I was gonna say those should be the next CEOs, but don't come find me, yo. Don't come find me. I live in Chicago. I don't look. I'm good. It's not a threat.
We ain't talking about Luigi,
Ooh.
but this just makes me think about Luigi.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
Likewise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well-
man. Where's Luigi at a time like this, bro?
And that with Diddy.
And then what did he?
Same jail.
Same jail. Yeah.
Same lawyer and everything too. That's
I
well,
read
no,
that.
no. Their lawyers are married.
That's what it is.
That's what it
is,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
Okay.
married.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah.
Y'all get to go home, talk about y'all cases, and it's totally different. This guy fought for an American privilege, and your
Yeah.
client.
They actually go home and can't talk about shit.
Yeah.
That's even crazy.
Yeah.
That's
I
even
don't know what
crazy.
you even got
Your
that idea.
client
from.
Like
take
Go
your
home
privilege.
and-
your husband
Come
was
on.
just with the motherfucking nigga that killed the CEO,
Yeah.
and your wife was just with Diddy, and you can't ask about
No, it's
none of that
switched.
shit.
The
Well,
wife is Luigi.
Yeah, I just assigned, but either way, it's like, damn, that's crazy. Like
Yeah.
you can't.
Like
It's
your
like if you was just with Diddy. I got some questions. You know, I'm like, damn, what was going on? You know?
So-
What that nigga say?
Your client killed the healthcare CEO, man. Killed Biggie Smalls.
Hey.
That's a crazy
That's
high.
crazy.
I believe that too.
I've been telling niggas, bro.
Why he pulled through the light?
Exactly.
Why the fuck you run the light? You ran the light. I got killed. That nigga. I'm hunting you forever.
Gee, Big Puffy killed him, but that ain't what we here
Yeah.
for.
we are here for that. So we're going to go ahead and switch over and talk about Diddy.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Man,
okay.
yeah, that nigga killed Biggie. And
Can-
he shot Tupac
Can I
that
take,
first
look,
time.
let me the 45 seconds to explain my whole little theory, right?
Let's
the-
break it
the-
down.
He ran the light that the nigga got killed at, right?
Right.
The album came out a week after he died.
The
It
next
count-
Tuesday.
Right, a double
Ready to
album
Die.
that got him out of his
Life
deal.
After Death.
Yeah, it was Life After Death was the second one. Ready to Die was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The double album was gonna get him out of his 3-album deal, and he was starting a group, the Commission, with Jay-Z, and saying he wanted to go sign to Rockefeller and shit. If you alive, your master's gonna come back to you. You worth more money to Diddy, dead and still on his label, than leaving alive, going to go sign with Jay-Z. And he took the nigga to LA, forced him to go out there,
Mm-hmm.
and then left the nigga at the light. And he got that shit set up. Why
Killed him.
Yeah, why you run this random red light?
Furthermore, when you die, the publishing stays under the label for 70 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
And
Biggie killed the, I mean, Diddy killed him, man.
And
And
all
he
this
shot
shit
Tupac.
coming out now, they say he blowing up cars and shit like that.
So he's capable of it.
100%.
Well, the Biggie one wasn't that hard for anybody to do, you know, especially at that time. It was easier. But, like, you know, just knowing that, like, the capabilities of a human, like, that you want to do shit like that, and hell yeah, like, you blew a nigga car up because he talking to your ex, y'all on the break.
Let's
That's
talk
insane.
about him killing butts. First
Killing
of all,
who?
like killing butts.
This
Who is
nigga
Butts?
said killing butts,
The
bro.
butts.
Oh, you talking about, okay.
Yeah, that I
Oh.
feel
We
like
don't
that's
care. There's nothing wrong with Diddy being gay.
bro.
Boy, I didn't know
it's
that's what
something
you meant
super
when
wrong
you
with
said
him.
killing
Yeah.
butts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We don't care that he's gay.
Yes, it's something super wrong with him being gay because he killed butts. He take it, bro. Like it's something wrong with him
Why
specifically.
did you have to
being gay.
Why are we
say
calling
kill?
it that?
Yeah, why did you have to say it like that? I'm thinking you talking about a character named Butts that he killed.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
I
Cortland.
thought I was mishearing.
That's crazy.
Bro, it's so many people coming out talking about like him not drugging them all the way and them waking up in the middle of him killing butts. Like
That is crazy.
that's
stop
wild. He
calling
sound
it
like
that?
a
Yeah,
villain,
you
bro.
gonna have to change that up for me. Like, bro, what's wrong with just saying he was fucking a nigga in the ass? What's so wrong
Or
with
why
that?
being
Why
gay?
crazy?
all of that?
That's
You
not
gotta
way
say he was
crazy.
being gay.
Yeah,
Killing
know?
butts is
Damn.
crazy, man.
That's crazy.
I've never
Both
heard
of
that
them.
before.
Both of them. I think
Both-
we can
But
tone it down.
I'm being direct.
Either way,
We could definitely just say gay
Yeah,
shit
you
and
know?
just write it at gay shit.
Yeah,
You know?
he seen them fucking. It's enough. Like we don't gotta say where. You know.
So we not gonna.
Diddy
so
drugged
we,
him in missionary and he looked up at him.
So we not gonna talk about. I'm being direct with this shit though. Like, that's
are.
crazy.
You are. That's what I'm saying. We don't have to
Man,
be.
he done
Okay,
did-
look.
I don't
All
need
right.
to go
Gay
directly
shit is
there.
enough.
That's the diddler,
the
bro.
topic I want to talk about has nothing to do with him killing
That's
butts.
the diddler, bro. He killing butts.
Okay, before we even talk about the topic, why do you think we need to talk about him having sex with men?
Killing butts.
Cause it's crazier than like okay, we know niggas kill each other. He killing butts, bro. Like
Oh,
that's crazy.
Why-
That is crazy.
I
bro.
get where he's coming from, though. I completely get
But
it.
men be gay sometimes. Why is that crazy?
Because he taking it. Men be gay and have
Also, you.
He's saying it's cool to be the
sex.
So he's
top.
He's
There we go.
He's assaulting the butts. Is
Yeah,
why
he
it's
taking
crazy.
it
Okay, so
Okay,
it only
all right.
count as killing it if you stole it.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
only time he count.
Okay.
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 All right.
Okay.
That's
I
when it count.
understand. All right. 'Cause
Okay,
I
yeah.
just, I just
Yeah.
thought you was trying to describe men's sex as killing butts.
Yeah,
All
I just
right.
thought he was just fucking.
No,
him.
he
Yeah.
killing butts, bro. He taking it.
Okay. Okay.
That's-
Okay. All right.
Why are we here, T?
Insane.
Why are we here?
Because HBO has a Diddy doc coming out.
Diddy
I saw a commercial about it. It looks very fucking serious. It looks like R. Kelly's shit.
Oh,
Like
God.
so. No. This
Where we
is
at?
the ID channel. Them and their producers, the producers of the ones with the child actors from Nickelodeon, Quiet on Set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a team of serious niggas come together with this, right?
Yeah, this doc is real.
I
Yes.
want to see the 150 do too. I feel like that one is gonna be humorous.
Yeah.
Did he do it? The nigga
So
play too
fact
much,
did
man.
it.
So I wanted us to just talk about the fact that this doc is coming out, right? And when I remember my sperm donor, when R. Kelly shit dropped, you know me, I'm a social justice warrior.
Yeah.
Fuck R. Kelly, stop, mute him, da da da. That was me on my social media in college. Cool.
Arguing with your ass.
My daddy ain't never inboxed me on, never talked to me on social media ever. This nigga go inbox me and say, you know that the white man always want to take the black man down. You know what you're talking about. And I'm like, nigga, what's my favorite color? You know? So, and so,
This
I
nigga
s-
took himself down right there.
so,
Shit.
and so I'm just like, bro, why do like certain black people want our greats or just us in general to get away with crime the way that white people can?
I feel like it's the same as the conversation that we had the other day, like holding people accountable.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to hold no person that you idolize accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Like people look up to Beyonce. I love Beyonce. Like this is not me because I don't love Beyonce, but I
do.
love Beyonce.
Be
How
careful.
could she ever be this person, even though I don't know her? You know,
Mhm.
I don't think they want to think about R. Kelly in that way or Diddy. Like Diddy may be a little bit easier because like he's not as popular as R. Kelly was in the black community. So like they just want to continue to idolize him and view him as a good person.
Well, the crazy thing about R. Kelly is they also think he did it.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah.
think R. Kelly did it, or they just want to say, well, he did do it, but them parents
I'm
too.
gonna say we
Like,
know he did.
That's
it.
the
Yeah.
perspective a
The
lot of
thing-
people take. They think he is a criminal, but the music's so good. Like he the king, you know, so but Diddy, they don't really care about his music.
This
to
may
me.
be a hot take, but like
Oh damn.
it's always the veil. It's a veil that we put up of y'all trying to tear down a black man. Like whether he was black or white, like you wild. Regardless, bro.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
He wild as hell.
Yeah,
And we've
Yeah.
always questioned
we're
Diddy.
we're all on that perspective.
Mhm.
Them niggas wild. My question still stands. Why do we think certain individuals that look like us want to get away with shit just because white people do?
'Cause we
Like,
think
where do
we
you
don't-
get that mentality? Why do you want that?
I don't think
Because they
it's
look like us.
wanting to get away with it. I don't think it's that. I do think that it's the wrong perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's more like with the kids in school in second or third, fourth, fifth grade, when the teacher tell you be quiet and you say, I'm not the only one talking.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just that. Like, it's not that the kid is saying, well, the teacher shouldn't have told me to be quiet, but it's why only me,
I understand that.
right? I think that's different from saying Diddy shouldn't get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Diddy should get away with it. I think that's different. But I do think that they are too close to say publicly. I would never say no shit like that.
Yes.
Because that sounds very
Crazy.
close to saying Diddy shouldn't be in jail.
Yes.
And R. Kelly shouldn't be in jail.
Yes.
And I think both of them niggas are where they should be at.
Yes.
But I do understand from the perspective of feeling targeted all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that's the time to bring that shit up. I
Yeah.
think like there are so many other examples that we
Yeah.
can talk about that.
Yeah.
That Diddy can sit where he at. You know.
That's
think
always
it-
my response.
I think it stems from us not having heroic representation in big spaces. Because like the biggest stars to black people for the longest are like athletes, TV, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so passionate about niggas reading. Because like one of my first real heroes was a fictional character named fucking Gerald. Which if you got kids, y'all should read the Hazelwood trilogy by Sharon Draper. Highly recommend it. Like that was my first hero. He was my age. He was, you know what I'm saying, doing raw ass shit. That was my first hero. So if your only heroes are rappers and shit, and now they're going to jail for all this heinous shit, the first thing you gonna go is no, because that's your hero.
I understand that.
That's not another person in your life.
Yeah.
That's a hero.
See, look, I think that perspective is valid, but I don't think it applies to a lot of the examples that we see, right? Because what you're saying, right? Everybody know I'm a big Jay-Z fan, right? I think that Jay-Z lawsuit that came out is a bunch of bullshit, right? So that's how I felt with him.
Right.
But when you have people who were never fucking Diddy fans, because how the fuck are you a Diddy fan? That shit don't even make sense, right?
Yeah.
Now Diddy got albums.
Like, but you know, Diddy got shit he was
albums.
involved in, but that meant you like Biggie or you like Faith Evans or
Yeah,
you like whoever
somebody
else,
associated
right? But
with
you didn't
Diddy.
like being a Diddy fan itself is crazy. I understand being an R. Kelly fan. I grew up on listening to the music just like everybody else, right? But in some of those the people who talk about how much they listen to R. Kelly now and how often they bring it up, they don't listen to no R&B no other time. Like I know a nigga specifically who always talking about how much he listen to R&B, and every time I see that nigga listening to any music, it's Young Thug and shit like that, right? Like you don't listen to that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not riding around listening to that. You just want the attention. So I think it's a bunch of shit that happens like that. Or Tory Lanez, right? Like Tory Lanez didn't have as many fucking fans.
Until
Right.
yeah.
So I think there are examples like that kind of skew the conversation because you got a bunch of people who just be on a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Right. So like the Tory thing, you got a bunch of men who just I gotta find another way to hate Megan Thee Stallion, so I'm finna support Tory
Facts.
Lanez, right?
Yep.
Or you have the people who these little kids, they know what they be doing, you know, and so I'm about to say put the parents in jail too, and not tell y'all that my little whatever I'm talking to is 19, right? Like, and that's how shit goes, where they use these cases to cover up other shit that they got going on in their
Facts.
life, and it's not shit that they actually believe or shit that even people that they care about, right? Because it's like I said, I think the Jay-Z lawsuit is some bullshit. We ain't gonna talk about it today, but I could tell you, we can have a conversation about why I think that.
Right.
And it's a logical thing. It's not just, he ain't shoot ass, I ain't see the bullet.
Where the gun at?
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's a different thing. And a lot of the conversations that we have that spark this question are usually from those kind of people
Yes. Yes.
that aren't actually interested in the case at all. They got some other shit going on.
I see likeness in what you did because I be doing that shit, or I agree. I don't see nothing wrong with doing something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's,
or I feel like it could come down to I feel like occasionally, not even occasionally, like, you know, we look at things through a racial lens. Like that's what it come down to every time. We go look at it through the lens of race when it comes to politics, when it entertainment, when it comes to livelihood. We're always going to look at things through the lens of race.
Race and sex. Can't forget about
race,
sex.
race and sex, 100%. You're right. And so when we don't have the necessary knowledge or information on a particular subject, it comes down to, you know, how I feel emotionally, my first reaction to it, first impression. And so it's going to be race all the time, every time. And so I think, you know, once somebody gets informed on something or they, you know, do a little bit of research or see things for how they are or things play out, then they tend to have a different perspective. But if they already reacted off of race or sex, sometimes they choose to stand on what they said initially, even though they know they're wrong.
Yeah, real quick observation with that. A lot of the people who I see do things like that you're talking about, they also aren't the people who are fighting for causes to push the race forward.
Exactly. Exactly.
But I think there are people who can understand that perspective. Like the people who are doing things to push the race forward do understand where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that the people who are always parroting the message are actively doing anything to be the spokesperson that they are pretending to be when Diddy come up.
Yeah, and the issue is the people who don't necessarily do anything, like you said, are the voices that's heard the most.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the discrepancy.
And I think that's just a byproduct of what we pay attention to. Like, because there are people who are, always giving knowledgeable and valuable information that is out there, but niggas in the Facebook comments. So if you in the Facebook comments with a bunch of other people who, everybody not educated.
Yeah.
But you taking all of this as if it's a representation of what people believe. And it's like a lot of times you got to start there.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the people, like most people that I know that went to college, finished college, are not the people who I see in Facebook comments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, we don't really respond.
Yeah, controversy sells tickets. Like, that's what's gonna make the most money. That's what's gonna draw the most attention. Is somebody wanting to view a different angle as opposed to what's correct. Let's say in this case, but I do feel like the uneducated, the people who just responding off emotion and responding through the wrong lens or a foggy lens, they're going to get the most attention. Right?
So I know we keep using the word emotion, right? I want us to kind of dial back on that and be mindful when we choose to use that word, because I do think some niggas just are dumb. And it's not emotions. It's them being rational. They truly believe this. They think this is right, and they're wrong, and it's because they can't read.
I'm gonna come behind you because I've been sitting with this. I guess it's a take for like this week.
I didn't know where that was going.
I'm 100% with you.
You had me the whole way.
Look, when you think about it,
I don't feel like
when you think about it, like, if you're uninformed, if you have no idea what's going on, that is your whatever thought you have initially, whatever notion you choose to accept, that's going to trigger your emotion. That's all people have.
Yeah, but they think they're right. They don't think they're not informed until someone say, hey, you're not informed, and that's up to them to go figure out if they're right or not.
And their emotion is going to tell them, even though I see that's right,
yes,
this is what I felt initially.
When I respond, hold on 1 second. When I respond to a headline, Twitch's wife said he's a crackhead. That's up to me to say, yes, he is. No, he's not. Let me go figure it out first. I chose to just go off the headline and say, yeah, that nigga black. He probably is a crackhead. I thought that I knew what the fuck it was because the headline told me. And so I go in the comment section. I say, yeah, that nigga probably was shooting it up. Someone can reply and say, bro, did you read the article? It's up to me to say now,
yeah, I read the article.
No, I did. And lie. So now you're being emotional because someone has challenged you because you were uninformed, but you thought you were informed. Now you're being emotional. But when you first led with that comment, you were rationally thinking. You were being informed from your perspective.
I even think you could rationally think through your emotions. But I was sitting with this take for like the last week or two, and I truly feel like if you're not fundamentally intelligent, meaning at the basic level, you're not basically intelligent, there's no way you could be emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, you can't respond rationally with your emotions if you understand that your rationale is correct.
Yes.
Like if you properly informed yourself, then so be it. Be what it may. But if you have no idea what's going on, it might flash a headline and say, so-and-so and so-and-so just did X, Y, and Z. You're going to respond based on how you feel about it. If you're somebody who doesn't have your your emotions in control, like if you're not going to think beyond that and be like, okay, I feel this way, but let me research a little bit more. Not everybody does. Matter of fact, a great majority doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And so that's when you respond emotionally.
54% to be precise.
And then I'll come behind you with that, Cortland, is that like I even feel like you don't emotionally respond first. I truly feel like there's a fundamental
Yes.
intelligence that kicks in first because
Yeah,
you're
that's
reading.
triggers
science.
that emotion.
That's
Yeah.
law.
Yeah.
That's law. Your thoughts are always going to influence your emotions. And if that's and this brings us back to the point from the last episode. If you're not working on yourself to receive information in a particular way and respond in a particular way, then you're not gonna have good emotions towards, whatever is proposed.
Or good intelligence.
Exactly.
I want you to repeat what you said, Jonesy. You said a person that's not
That's not
fundament-
fundamentally intelligent cannot be emotionally intelligent.
I agree.
Exactly.
What do you think about that?
That's 100.
I don't think I agree.
Okay.
Ooh,
Why?
Okay.
I think the answer depends on what you define as intelligence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because some people see it as like you educated this and that, you accomplished this in school. To me, I always define intelligence as how you use the knowledge that you have,
Boom.
right? Because some people don't like, just because I haven't been exposed to something, that doesn't mean that once you expose me that I'm incapable.
Right.
Mhm.
So that's how I've always viewed intelligence. To me, I think some people have it in them to be emotionally intelligent and understand their emotions like when they kids.
Mhm.
Some people
Yeah.
get it, right? So, but they wouldn't be intelligent by any of our standards. But they knew how they felt. And they knew that they were gonna tell you. And they knew whatever else, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I think some people have a deep enough feeling that feeling is enough to know how to navigate it.
So I want us to describe what fundamentally intelligent is, because I think it's pretty basic for what you think that is.
Right. You can read
You
at a
can read and
fundamental
write,
level. You
right?
can
Mhm.
you can take
You-
information in at a minimal fundamental level.
Yes. And so if 54% of Americans
Mhm.
can read under a 6th grade level,
Mhm.
then they are not fundamentally intelligent. They can't read or write.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what we mean. You got to at least know how to read and write for me to even feel like you're capable of doing something, right? Because then
'Cause
you
you-
have a nigga like R. Kelly that can't process. I was touched on as a baby,
Mhm.
as a child. I can't read. So as I'm trying to navigate between how these emotions feel as I'm getting older, that's telling me to fuck other niggas, rape other kids instead of let me figure out these emotions. You're not emotionally intelligent enough because you can't fucking even read, so you can't even fucking
Right.
figure out these thought processes that you're going through.
And that makes a lot of sense overall. And I think like if we only view it from the lens of adults,
Yeah.
then I think I would agree.
Mhm.
But the way that I look at it, like, well, if a baby see you cry and they come give you a hug,
Yeah.
the way that like I was crying the day my grandfather passed and my dog made me take him out of the cage,
Yeah.
so that I could rub him. That's a dog,
Yeah.
but he knew I was sad and he knew that I wanted him,
Yeah.
right? So it's like I do think that we have the ability to feel and understand things, even if we don't know that we understand.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that I think it's natural.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't think that it occurs in everybody.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they are necessarily tied. I think as we become older and we become adults, when we have to communicate these things, I think that's when the intelligence kicks in.
Yes.
I think a lot of people know how they feel.
They just
but
don't know how to communicate it.
Right.
You can't
Which I
process it.
don't know if the lack of communication, which definitely I would attribute to somebody's intelligence.
Yes.
But I don't know if that means that they are not emotionally intelligent because they don't know how to tell me what they need to tell me.
I'm on the side of, if I just knew that you couldn't read and write past the 6th grade level, then I'm not going to think that if I come to you and talk to you about how you beating on me as a child didn't make me feel well, and I think it's fucking with my ability to respond to leadership,
Yeah.
that you would understand me. And so I'm going to not probably have this conversation with you, and I'm just going to bite that bullet.
I think there are a lot of other factors that go into a person who can't read at that level.
Yes.
Right. So it's like there are so many things that come out of that person's life and how hard their life is going to be.
Yeah.
Because of that there are things that that person probably will not understand and they might not even be interested anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't know if I would make the tie between those two things before I examine what their life turned out to be.
That's just my way of how much grace I give you. If I know you can't read and write,
Mhm.
I can't be too mad at you if you can't understand.
Especially if I choose to have you around,
Yes.
I really can't get mad
Yes.
at you.
100%. I think it
Yes.
comes
And I'm
down
with
to,
you. I'm with you.
I think in totality, it comes down to understanding, bro. Understanding and your response to what you have understood. That's intelligent.
Mhm.
Like, if I touch a stove and it burned me, I understand that it just burnt me. That hurt.
Yeah.
I don't like that. If
Yeah.
I go back and touch that stove,
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
insane.
Or even
You know
if
what
you
I'm
touch
saying?
another stove in general. Like,
Yeah.
shit, I
Let
ain't
me
think this
try-
stove is
so let
going
me
to
try a
burn me because it's
different
pink.
stove. Yeah.
Right.
Like, no, you're dumb.
Yeah.
It's still a stove.
100%.
Yeah.
It comes down to understanding. Then understanding, of course, leads to wisdom. You had
Mhm.
an experience of getting burnt. Now you
Mhm.
don't do that. You know what
Mhm.
to do going forward.
Yeah.
Right.
And so what do you say about a person that just keeps trying different stoves? Because they think that maybe that stove was just the issue.
Right.
But-
Exactly. And
When
that's-
you know
yeah.
that stoves get hot. Like you
Yeah.
know fundamentally a stove is to get hot and heat food.
right.
But it was just that one. Let me
Yeah.
try a different one.
And
Yeah, I would
and
call
that
them dumb as
person,
hell.
that is insanity. That is
Okay.
insanity. Doing
Yeah.
the same
Yes,
thing, expecting
yes.
different results.
Yes.
You see metal and you see fire coming from that metal.
Yeah.
You touch that again,
Yeah.
you crazy.
Okay. Now keep that same thought process
Mhm.
when we talk about molestation, murdering people, all of these harsh things that you can do. We all know we shouldn't do it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
All of us know we shouldn't do it. But when you keep doing the shit, or you even try it one time, that was a choice.
Yeah, that is a
And
choice.
we can listen to your childhood upbringing, we can listen to your traumas, but you also got to be with us and work through and say, hey, I still should have done that. And we understand, we understand your backstory. We can give you some compassion, but we also need to see consequences.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
you still chose
crazy.
to do something.
That's crazy to get touched in a particular way, not enjoy it,
Yeah.
and feel like the next person is going to want to get touched in that particular way.
So I understand how a
enjoy.
person will feel like, oh, if that is your first experience with sex, being touched on, if that's your first experience with love, an older person finding you attractive, I get why you would process it in that way, that that's how we're supposed to do things.
Mhm.
But there's many things that happen in your life that shows you that was wrong. Even
The
if it
fact that you had to
doesn't,
keep it a secret.
yes, yes. So at a certain point, bro, you gotta meet us in the middle now. We're telling you this shit
Mhm.
wrong, bro. You can't do it.
100%.
I don't know how much room I got to meet in the middle. Like,
I'm
like
yeah,
the white
yeah,
people.
yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Tia be there waiting on you.
No, I will not. No,
I
will
won't.
not. No,
Yo, me, I don't want to hear your fucking childhood traumas after I found out you touched somebody.
Yeah, I don't
I don't
either.
want to hear about that shit.
At all.
What? Nigga, no.
I ain't on that side, but
Yeah, hell no.
I
Hell no.
do.
I'm
Yeah,
understanding.
that wouldn't put you on
Yeah.
their side, you know. But
Like,
So
I
that's-
completely understand why
Yeah.
you did what you did, but
Yeah.
you need to stay the fuck away from
And
me.
so that can be a weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It is.
sometimes a lot of people in this world can wield compassion as a
yes,
sword.
it is. They do it.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
why they can keep doing it.
Yeah, they can do something crazy and say, "Feel sorry for me, understand my perspective." Now, that's a great notion to
Mm-hmm.
propose in movies,
Yeah,
right? Like, we all wanted to know why Thanos wanted to wipe out
yeah,
50% of existence.
yeah.
That makes the movie interesting.
Facts.
In real life, keep that to yourself, brother, and stop doing it.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it can be crazy, but some people wield compassion as a sword. Like, this what I want to do. You need to accept this, and you need to see my perspective. Accept that perspective. It's no longer the option to deny or not accept my perspective. Now you against me, or you against this, and now we got to label you as this and take you off of this network and cancel this sponsorship and this
Yeah.
endorsement. You know what I'm saying? So
I do want to hear the stories of the people that committed the crimes. I do want to hear
Mm-hmm.
their reasons for why they think they did it, because we have many souls that were affected by adults or just people touching on them,
Mhm.
and they think they turn out all right,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't realize what it can look like, and you're not actually okay. Like so
Yeah.
many of our people that got whoopings growing up. It's very common for all of us to get whoopings. They think, oh, I turned out right. Y'all just bitching online.
Yeah.
yeah, it went
You
from
you can't even look
It ain't
people
hurt
in the
that bad.
face. You can't look me in my eyes direct when I'm talking to you. You are not okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It went
Yeah.
from tell us how crazy you is to tell us why we should feel sorry for you and
Facts.
have sympathy.
I can see that. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy. We talked about All of that just from a Diddy topic.
Shit, I mean, Diddy was doing all of that.
He was. He was.
We ain't mentioned shit Diddy ain't did. Like, man,
Murder.
That's a wild
Sodomy.
nigga. That's
That
a
is a very
wild
wild
nigga.
nigga. All right. We have.
Don't find me, Diddy.
What do you want to
I'm gonna blow your car up.
No, hey, look.
do? Y'all want to talk about the Drake shit or y'all want to do the Skip shit first?
Skip, bro.
Skip.
I'm tired of Drake.
Okay.
Nah, let Khyle go off.
All right, bet. So, Club Culture family, this episode, we are introducing a new segment. And this segment is called Khyle's Kourt. Khyle is a lawyer in training. He is studying law at the moment. And so I thought it would be great for us to give Khyle a segment to inform and educate us all on things that happen in the legal world that we just don't know too much about and hear it from their side of the world and their terminology and really put us on game. So, Khyle, take it away.
Ding, ding, ding.
Thank you. Very appreciative. Like this. Great idea. So,
Thank you, Jonesy.
hey, look, we got to keep that up. I'm working on these intros and shit. I didn't know exactly how I was going to start it. That's
We'll
it.
figure it out.
That's it right there.
And you dragging it.
Hey, that shit was hitting though. I was from freestyle. Anyway, Skip Bayless, the former host, Undisputed on Fox Sports, also used to be on First Take with Stephen A. Smith. Just got accused of sexual harassment in a lawsuit. So there's a woman who I am not sure how to pronounce her name, and I want to be respectful.
Faraji.
It's Faraji.
Last name Faraji.
I thought so. I'm glad you know.
Mhm.
Miss Faraji was a hairstylist for Fox Sports. She worked there from 2012 up until 2024. She started to work with Skip Bayless in 2016 after he requested specifically that she do his hair.
Yep.
Ooh.
Requested her specifically, and
What
then
the hair look like?
That's a good point.
Right, and then very shortly after he requested she do his hair, he began touching her in inappropriate ways, giving unwanted hugs repeatedly, making them last longer than a normal hug should.
Mhm.
Just doing a lot of things that made her uncomfortable fast. Like as soon as it started, he was calling her voluptuous at a point. There were multiple things that he did very early on that gave her pause. But she stuck around. She dealt with it. She didn't tell anybody because she was a single mom. She didn't want to lose her job. Understandable situation to be in. She's a hairstylist.
Yeah.
So she is suing him because eventually after that, he decided that he was going to offer her $1.5 million to have sex with her. That's just insane. She declined and still didn't tell anybody. She let that go because she didn't want to lose her job. She got a pretty good job. She didn't want to lose it. She's a single mom. And she told Skip Bayless, let's call him Stephen A. She told Skip Bayless that as a single mom, she doesn't date in the workplace. She would always find different excuses to give him, hoping that he would leave her alone.
Yeah.
Right?
Is Stephen A. listed in this case at all?
No,
'Cause
no,
I only
no,
got
no.
about.
No.
I only got through 14 pages.
Yeah, no. Stephen A. is not mentioned
Okay.
at all. I didn't get a chance to see his thoughts, so I
I
meant to
did.
watch
I
that.
watched it.
Okay, yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta tell us about it. So that was from 2016 to 2021. It was just a lot of inappropriate things that she still found to be bearable for the sake of keeping her job.
Mm-hmm.
Up until 2021, she was told that she had an issue with one of her ovaries and that it could be cancer. And she told Skip Bayless that so that maybe he would just slow down with some of the unwanted advances and just give her a break, knowing that she was going through things. He decided to then, at that point, ask her how much money it would be for her to have sex with him. She declined his advances, and he just didn't stop. He initiated the offer again a few years later, and she worked there up until he got fired. In the middle of the lawsuit is Joy Taylor, who we're going to talk about her portion a little bit later. But Joy Taylor is the host of the show with him,
Right.
with Skip Bayless. And Joy Taylor was her friend. And Joy Taylor was also the person who requested that she get hired on the show. So Joy Taylor was somebody who the Miss Faraji confided in and trusted and would go to her for advice on how to handle things and just about what to do. Unfortunately, Joy Taylor is being accused of having an inappropriate relationship with the executive of the network, Charles Dixon. And Miss Faraji is claiming that Joy Taylor's inappropriate relationship with Mr. Dixon is influenced the way that she responded to her about Skip Bayless, and then even eventually about Mr. Dixon, who groped her at a point that Miss Faraji felt like she couldn't say anything to anybody because the network in general protected the powerful men.
Right.
So at this point now she is suing Skip Bayless for Skip Bayless and the network for a bunch of, she is suing for equitable damages, compensatory damages, emotional damages, punitive damages, and attorney's fees. Attorney's fees, self-explanatory. Punitive damages is just as punishment. So, you should not have done this, so you have to pay basically similar to a fine.
Right.
The emotional damages is just what she suffered having to deal with that. And the compensatory damages is a separate part of the lawsuit. And the equitable damages as well, because she is claiming that the Fox employees were not paid for all of their hours worked and weren't compensated for overtime or reimbursed for business expenses. So the compensatory damages and the equitable damages is kind of not really what we're talking about here today, but that is on the table. So she's suing Skip Bayless, who makes $8 million a year, for offering her $1.5 million for sex multiple times.
Right. Okay, man. Let's get to the
Insane
juicy
story.
part of the motherfucking.
We got to start with Skip first.
They were selling dope at Fox.
We got to start with Skip, man.
Y'all ain't see that?
I missed that part of the
Where
lawsuit.
did you
Y'all
see
ain't,
that?
it's in the suit. They were selling dope in Fox.
I missed.
I ain't see that.
I swear to God, they was in there selling coke.
The only thing I saw in there was that it was it was a handler that would give drugs.
Hell yeah,
But
they in there
that
trapping.
wasn't no big part of the fucking suit,
I mean,
bro.
That's the part that stood out to me.
of course.
Oh.
Man, that
Okay.
motherfucker trapping.
See, that's how
You know.
headlines work. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
See, I kind of skipped past that. I
You
was
see this
looking.
nigga? Yeah,
Man,
skip
they're
past the
selling
sexual
dope.
harassment. Let's talk about the nigga selling in crack. Like, that's crazy.
Joy told Faraji to not worry about it, go along with it. This shit was crazy.
Yeah, they ain't
Yeah,
got nothing
see-
to do with the dope.
And we
They were
were
selling
going
dope,
to get to Joy Taylor.
Yeah.
Because we got to talk about all of her role and
Yeah,
everything.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
because
in
she
this
is
case.
also named in the lawsuit multiple times.
Yes.
This is a
Mhm.
big part of the lawsuit.
So one thing that I did see that you didn't speak to is one of the things that he pushed for her to have sex was she I don't know if I think she's Muslim. Maybe?
Yeah, she is. I think they said she's of Iranian descent.
Okay. And so she had said, don't you have a wife? And he was like, don't your kind have multiple wives?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's
Yes.
fuck. Let's
Oh
fuck.
my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's what
them-
Skip said to her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And she has that in the suit.
That
of
was
his way.
premeditated.
Yeah. So
Yep.
the man, I can see him saying that.
Yep. That killed my conspiracy.
What
Oh.
was your conspiracy at first?
They trying to take the white man down?
Yes, but
That sounded like him though. When he
Yeah, but-
told Shannon Sharp, put your glasses back on.
I thought
Boy.
Skip was in on taking the network down,
Okay.
not them taking Skip
Oh.
down.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No.
So yeah, but no,
Okay.
it sounded like Skip's a freak.
Yeah.
Y'all seen pictures of Skip outside of work?
I just looked them up just to make
Yeah.
sure what I'm dealing with.
I'm gonna pop some of my favorites on the screen as we talking.
Oh.
But it's one picture with a nigga like he in front of the camera doing this
With the one?
with
Yeah.
the ones on,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
Like you gotta know that's a nasty nigga.
I just
Yeah.
looked past that because I looked up him and Charlie Dixon. I'm like, let me just get an image of these.
Yeah, they
dudes.
both scary looking.
All right.
Charlie looks a little more manageable.
Skip look like it.
Skip looks scary, bro.
looks
Like he
scary.
will hurt you.
Yeah, so I can see Shorty from the beginning of his first, hey, you cute.
Look at him, he's
Just-
shirtless.
He's yeah, send me that. That's going on the screen.
Please post that picture with the ones.
Yeah, he's so trash, bro. So yeah, man,
Insane.
she can get all the support just from knowing it's Skip Bayless. He's
Yeah.
scary looking.
Like he looked like he died already.
Hey.
Y'all remember he told that story about him having a black nanny?
No.
No, I'm
Hell
not familiar
no.
with
And
that
this, he told this story about how he had this black nanny or maid, whatever, who would watch him, and that's where he get his insight on, like, you know, the black life
Okay.
and life as a black
And
person.
those the niggas you want us to be friends with?
one.
Cause
Right.
they,
Yeah,
No.
those the ones
Cause
coming
they
to the cookout.
understand us. They understand us, huh?
The black lady
Okay.
used to change my diapers. I get it.
No.
I
Okay,
get your
that's
struggle, man.
That was
Okay.
a good setup. I like that. I like that.
Hey.
What I was
Fox is
about to
crazy,
say, we
man.
could start off with Skip, right?
Okay.
Where do you get 1.5 from?
See, I think it was a accumulated, like he kept offering like different amounts to
He
smash.
no,
I don't think he
1.5.
came out the door with 1.5.
He offered 1.5 to have sex. 1.5 million.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
So I know that she's alleging that it was
Yo.
1.5 the first time.
Mm-hmm.
He asked again, and then was asking how much money after that
Oh, okay.
because the
That's
1.5
crazy.
wasn't enough.
Yeah, that's insane.
And very like
Y'all had 1.5 type of pussy before?
That brother was starving.
she got that $1 million.
Y'all ever had that?
I ain't never had $1 million.
I got a
So I couldn't
better
tell
question.
Okay.
Would you do some straight shit for 1.5
No,
million?
Whoa.
no. Let's get back to the topic, nigga. Never.
Because I ain't doing no gay shit for
Never.
1.5.
You gonna have to take it, nigga. No.
Oh.
All right, back to the
Nah,
topic.
I ain't
nigga.
never had no $1 million nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
meal
I
for
don't
some
think. I
coochie?
don't know if it exists. But I also ain't never had $1 million, so I can't tell you.
Yeah.
It's depending on how valuable that is to me.
I don't think it's the quality. I don't think it's a million. You know, I don't think it's that. I think it's the fact of being a white man, and you want something. I'ma get it. Not even just a white man, but a man with money.
I'm with Jenna.
Like you want it. You supposed to want it from me because I'm this person. So like, if you don't want it, what does it take for you to give it to me? Because I want it so bad, and I need everything that I want.
I think that was the chase for him,
Yep.
knowing
Yeah.
that she kept rejecting it.
Yeah, I mean, it went on
pride-
for
And that's
years.
the chase for
Yeah.
a lot of people.
It went on for years. So the thing is, I don't know why men do shit like that.
Mhm.
You gotta tell me no one time. You gotta tell me half a no.
Literally.
Yeah,
I never
'cause
understood
like,
conquering
yeah.
like pussy. Like that's nothing you have to conquer.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no.
If you say no, just go to the next one. Even if you buying it, like you know, you got 1.5 mil to play with.
That's the problem. You can't buy pussy that's not for sale.
Facts.
Some women will not sell it.
Facts.
And the thing is, considering it's so many who do for way cheaper than 1.5 million.
Gee,
That
you
nigga's
coulda
out of his
bought-
mind.
You could have
He
bought
out
a
of his mind.
stable for
They-
1.5 mil.
Yo,
Miss
boy.
London say Lil Baby gave her 6 bands.
Y'all know y'all boy tagline. Take that.
That's what I'm like. You could have
No, hey.
1.5
Who tagline is
million.
that? What the
Yo,
fuck
Diddy?
is we
Diddy.
talking about?
Diddy.
Oh, okay. All
He's
right.
back on Diddy.
Okay.
Gee, you could have
look,
bought a football team of prostitutes with 1.5
1.5
million.
million. Man,
But it's-
man, you
It's
could've-
it's you wanting it and that person not. Everybody been in a relationship before, even if it's not now. Like back in the day when
Yeah.
you was younger, like you had somebody that you really wanted and they ain't want you that bad, so it make you want them more.
Yeah.
So now, like, what can I change about myself for you to want me? You know, and I think that's how it is. Like, how much money can I give you? Because
Mhm.
I'm big on money. Like I'm this big nigga. You know, like what is it gonna take? Like you know you want me,
Yeah.
but what can I do to get you?
I feel
I
like
think. Oh, go ahead.
No,
I
do
think
you,
that
do you.
applies to a lot of people. I don't know if that applies to this old white man in his 70s. I think he just doesn't value money that much. Like I believe he doesn't have any children.
so.
So like to him, what is he holding on to that shit for? He could change her life and get what he wants. So to me, that 1.5 million sounds crazy, right? To him, he like shit. I don't know how much longer I got.
Yes.
Like,
I can see
and
that.
I don't have nobody to get this shit to.
Okay. so
Exactly. Nobody wanted
A
it.
part of this case will be personal witnesses to speak to the person's character. I'm
Mm.
sure that's what will happen. They'll bring niggas to speak to Skip's
Oh,
character.
you already know. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Stephen A, he did go on his pod
Mhm.
and he spoke to the news breaking and knowing that Skip is his friend. He said, I don't think there's anything wrong with me coming to say, I'm not saying that this is true or not true, but I don't know this to be of Skip. this is weird, and I also think he's a very cheap nigga. And so 1.5 million is so crazy to me.
Let's not forget Stephen A was defending Diddy in the beginning.
I don't remember that.
I
but
don't remember that.
He was defending Diddy. He defending Jay-Z right now.
Well, I don't support Stephen A. Smith, so
Sounds like a role.
because
to
he
me.
does weird shit. But I didn't know he was supporting Diddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was on TV. Y'all got this brother messed up. Ooh.
I didn't
But
see
he-
that, but I do
yeah.
remember the day after
the
the
vid
Cassie
drop.
thing came out. He was on his podcast, like saying words that I felt like were more catered to her. So I don't, and you know, Diddy settled that next day.
Yeah, when
After
the
the
evidence
first
come,
lawsuit.
when the evidence come out, yeah, they go act right.
Yeah. So, but that was the day after the lawsuit, though. So I don't know when there was time for him
Yeah.
to switch. I have to do some research on that,
Yeah.
but
Because before the Cassie video, there was like allegations. You know, people was allegedly saying that Diddy did X, Y, Z, and FBI was investigating. And so
they weren't investigating before she sued him.
before Cassie sued him,
Yeah.
because you remember when she sued him initially, he hurry up and like
Yeah,
settled it.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Stephen A. was speaking positively about her like that day.
No.
don't know, I think
Stephen
that-
A was defending. He was defending Diddy like legit,
Right.
like on some. Don't do this and that and this. But and I remember around the time I was thinking like, man, he ain't had the same energy towards Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying? When he was
I
he was
remember
getting
that.
attacked. Yeah,
Okay, because I had that same thought.
yeah.
Mhm.
I
And so
I
Yeah, I
remember
might
that.
be mistaken.
I think they was investigating Diddy before Cassie shit.
yeah, they was.
No.
Yeah, I thought the feds
Uh-uh.
was tracking him, and that's why he was.
So
They
it wasn't
was.
public that they were investigating him.
Yeah.
So when he ended up getting arrested and shit, it came out how long they were
Yeah,
investigating him.
yeah.
But we didn't know that shit. Like
Okay,
because
yeah,
once
yeah.
Cassie sued him, it came out like it was news. Like okay, now the FBI is investigating him.
Mhm.
Right. So we didn't know until later on that they had already been doing it.
Maybe I just watched too many podcasts.
Because
That's
it was
always
after that
been-
Cassie shit that his son
It was in
said
the
that in
air.
that song.
Yeah, it was always in the air.
It
for
was in
me.
the air. It was in the air,
Yeah.
but there wasn't no like public statement about it.
Yeah.
And so that's when he came to the defense. It was kind of it kind of resembles the Jay-Z situation where, you know, something was alleged, and you know they kind of whatever they do
They
behind
say,
the scenes.
yeah, they say, hey, that's a lie, and then
yeah,
whatever.
That's
Yeah.
that's the you
Yeah.
know scenario it was. That was the scenario. So
Okay.
he was like publicly defending him on TV. He even has a podcast that he was defending him on. And then once the video came out, it was just like radio silence from
Okay.
there. And
Well-
then it was just all big ups to Cassie and I'm against this, I'm against that, this and that. And so, yeah, same thing.
So I want us to talk about what I heard Stephen A. say, which is I don't think there's anything wrong with me speaking to a person I know's character when we have allegations come out against them.
Mhm.
How do you all feel about that? Let's say, and I'll just use me as an example.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it comes out that T is alleged to have touched kids,
That's-
right?
You both for putting that example. You
Yeah,
yourself in that example.
If
I'm with you.
anybody sees a clip of this shit and they believe it, that's on them.
Hey,
Right. And now, how do you feel about that idea that Stephen A. has? I'm because he was adamant. I'm about to come out and I'm going to talk about my friends.
Hell yeah. I'm going to defend you until it's proven that whatever you did or didn't do.
Mhm.
Now, if it's proven you did that bullshit, the same energy I had in defending you turns into fuck you.
Okay.
So for me, it's more like I'm even if I firmly believe that you did not do that shit, I'm not gonna come out and say that unless I'm like being pressured to say it in a way that I'm a public figure and it's people in my comments saying if you don't comment on Skip, I'm gonna say you on his side.
What about your
Right,
mans?
right. You know what I'm saying? I think like those kind of people are in a different position than everybody else. I think most people don't have a reason to come out and say what they believe, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. Now, once it came out, like if there was evidence or anything, then it's like okay, me speaking to your character at that point is crazy
Yeah.
because it doesn't matter. You saw this evidence,
Yeah.
right? Before that, if somebody asked me, "Do you think T did that shit?" I'm gonna say that don't really sound like her. That don't make sense.
Mhm.
Like, hell no, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Right? But I wouldn't just go around. I wouldn't be outside protesting. You know, free Tamaya. Like, no, it's
Yeah,
not.
I ain't doing all that.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
No.
saying? Like, nah. Like, And I
Please
think
don't do
that's
that.
the difference. You know?
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
If I have to speak to your character, I
Yeah.
will.
Right.
Yeah.
But it ain't nothing I'm finna be like, man, fuck that T, innocent as hell. Y'all stupid. I ain't
Yeah.
doing all that.
Yeah. And I do think it's a difference between him speaking on Skip versus him speaking on Jay-Z and Diddy.
He did that too in his pod.
He said he broke down the difference.
Because he said, I'm friends with Jay-Z too, and that shit was wild to me too. And the same way I came out and spoke about Jay-Z, I'm going to do it for Skip.
See, and that's what he said. I remember him speaking out about Jay-Z, and I've been thinking, I don't know how close they are.
Yeah.
For him to say, that's my friend. I don't
Yeah.
know that, right? But I do know him and Skip had that show together every day for years.
Yeah.
And after that, after they they broke up the show and shit, he still spoke positively of
Yeah.
him after that.
Yeah.
So I believe that's a relationship that like you might be held accountable for. Hey, you be on this kind of shit too. There was people asking like, hey, they be doing this at ESPN, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think with that one, that felt like more, okay, I understand why he's doing this. He has to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Jay-Z or Diddy, it's like you don't have to say shit, right? Like Memphis Bleak is Jay-Z motherfucker best friend. Not best friend for real, but he close as hell. I ain't see him say shit about no allegations.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like you don't have to.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it's just that. Like,
I think it's a distraction
Yeah.
from, like, I think you kind of hurt me more when you speak about my character. Like, wait till the court
Yep.
tell you to come do this. Like, don't do this publicly.
I think it's something
For me personally, but I understand the opinion of the public and how it could
Yeah.
sway.
It's
I think it's
also-
performative.
I feel like
Go
it's
on, Jen.
also connected to his business. Like just like you said, like, oh, you around him every day. Like, do you be on this shit too?
yeah.
And also, and I'm not with or against, but I do feel like when you around somebody every day, you know what type of shit they be doing. Like you say that they're your friend, depending on what type of friend you mean. Like, are y'all always together? Do you spend every day together? Are you doing this show every day together? You can see the tendencies on somebody. It's gonna show regardless if you with somebody every day. So you know what type of person they are, especially if you that same type of person. You're not really gonna stand up for that type of person because you don't want nobody to say that about you.
Yeah.
I don't 100% disagree. But we did just start the episode off talking about a woman who found out her husband was on drugs after he died.
Mhm.
Right.
Right. So I would never, and that's her husband. They sleep together every night.
Yeah.
So for somebody to put my friend's responsibilities on me, I'm supposed to know what the fuck he doing. I'm supposed to
Yes.
know.
Yes.
That feels like way too big of a responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't know what you niggas do when y'all leave here.
Facts.
Right? Like when Cortland leave, he could be killing butts. you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right?
I mean, he
Like,
could.
you know,
Definitely
like,
could.
Nobody
Point,
knows.
it's the point.
Right? So it's like, I feel you. And I just don't like that people put that on people. Like, you know, your man was doing this. Like, Tamaya, no, we got real life experience. She told me about somebody I was close with. She seen the shock on my motherfucking face. I was
Yeah.
ready to cry.
Yeah.
Like, some
Yes.
shit just be like that.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad I've told Cal things about people that he calls friends that's done crazy shit to people, and he knew nothing about it, and he thought they was fine. Like you
How
would have
crazy
never
we
thought
talking?
rape.
Okay.
You would have never thought that they've done this, right? And so that's why don't fucking don't subpoena me, please don't, because I'm someone that I can't lie. It's hard for me to lie.
Facts.
I might hurt your case. Don't bring me up on the stand.
I tell people this all the time. Don't include me in your lie. Don't include me in your bullshit. Don't
Yes.
include me in your crime.
I
I will
will
tell on you.
One of the things I always get an ick from is when I would see the whole baby daddy, baby mama drama on Facebook.
Ooh.
He ain't come see the kids, all that. She make a post. He and then all his friends underneath the post defending him. I'm like, y'all don't know what this nigga does.
He a solid ass nigga. What,
Yeah.
I seen him with his kid 7 months ago. What you mean?
Yeah, I will never be that friend. You
Yeah.
will not see me defend you like that.
Nope.
No.
So,
Because character speaks for itself. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have to defend I shouldn't have to defend your
Just-
character.
yeah, just-
you shouldn't put
Yes.
yourself in such a position where I have to defend your character.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. So, speaking of positions, wow, I'm a wild nigga.
I'm like, where is this going?
Yeah, you know. So I guess we finished with Skip Bayless. Joy Taylor
Yes.
was also mentioned in the lawsuit a few times. So I mentioned her earlier when I said that she brought the hairstylist on. She picked her,
Mm-hmm.
right? She picked her to be on the show. So that's going to play a part in the story because she Joy Taylor was on the show with Stephen A. at the time when she joined in 2016. They became friends shortly after that. Miss Faraji and Joy Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
So at Joy Taylor's birthday party in 2017, Charles Dixon, who is one of the Fox Sports executives,
He's the content executive of
Executive of
content. There we go.
content,
Yep, executive of content, decided that he was gonna get too drunk, put his hand on her lower back, and grab her on the ass. Can't do shit like that. The Miss Faraji told Joy Taylor what happened,
Mm-hmm.
and Joy Taylor told her that she should get over it. At that point, that's when she found out that Joy Taylor was having a relationship with Mr. Dixon,
Mm-hmm.
and said that Charles Dixon was the only reason that Joy Taylor had her job,
Facts.
and that if she spoke out, that Joy Taylor was going to lose her job, and that Miss Faraji would also lose her job because she's the one who brought her on.
Mm-hmm.
So she told her, don't say shit because that's going to fuck both of us up, right?
But even before that party, they had went to dinner with it was Joy, Faraji, and Mr. Dixon.
Mhm.
They all went to a dinner, and that's where Faraji was like, I think they messing around, and then that's when she told her like, hey, I don't think that's a good idea. And
Mhm.
Joy basically was like, get in with the get in, like you know what the fuck going on.
So that was the first time that she told her
Mhm.
that she didn't believe that it was a good idea, and that was only because Charles Dixon and Joy Taylor were both married at the time.
Right.
Right. Later on, after the party, I believe she told her again that it wasn't a good idea to continue sleeping with Mr. Dixon because
Mhm.
she also was allegedly sleeping with Emmanuel Ocho, who was a former NFL player who was also a Fox Sports analyst currently.
Mhm.
Ms. Faraji was telling her that if Charles Dixon found out that Joy Taylor was sleeping with Emmanuel Ocho and Charles Dixon, that it would be bad for both of them in the same way that Joy Taylor told her it would be bad if she told on Charles for touching her.
Right.
She says that Joy Taylor responded with, if Charles finds out, she was just going to say that he raped her. Which is just fucking insane, right? So at that point, after she started to distance herself from her, she just wasn't vibing with her morals at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And so she began to distance herself from her, and by 2021, they were no longer friends. And she said that at that point that Joy Taylor would often just belittle her in front of people and would often like make jokes about how well she didn't speak English. Just a bunch of mean things like that after. So she was saying all of these things in the lawsuit. And unfortunately, or maybe not unfortunately, I feel it's unfortunate that most of the attention has been on Joy Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of Skip Bayless, who's the man who was sued in the lawsuit.
Yep.
Right.
I think Joy Taylor had to be included to explain why it was so detrimental for her.
Yeah.
And how, because Joy Taylor was her friend, that was the person that she would have went to for support, and she was on a bunch of bullshit with all of them. She's like, it just further explains how alienated she felt.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely gonna make a difference when she is seeking all of those damages and shit later. But the internet is all on Joy Taylor, and with a lot of speculation right now about everything that she was doing and who she may have been sleeping with. It's a bunch of people giving a whole lot of input that doesn't need to be given. Like Jason Whitlock should have shut the fuck up. Like
Oh
he
my
should have shut the
gosh.
fuck up years ago
Do you know what the man said?
What do you say?
about her tan skin and the
Oh
cans
yeah,
and,
that he couldn't stay away from her big rack or something like that.
He
Crazy as
described
fuck.
titties in like 8 different ways. And just insane. And it's like,
Any viewer, please look up what Joy Taylor look like, and then go look up what,
Jason Whitlock.
and then come back to the pod.
Gee, this whole time before I started like really looking into it, I thought Joy Taylor and Taylor Rooks was the same person.
Oh, no!
I was
don't
like,
disrespect
no,
Taylor
not
Rooks like
Taylor.
that.
They
They're
actually
friends,
had a
though.
podcast
Yeah.
together for a while. I don't think they still do.
No, she Rooks left the pod because she said work started to get too busy for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Shout out
was,
to Taylor Rooks if
Yeah.
she ever see this.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. Shout
Shout
out
out
her,
Taylor.
man.
Call
Did-
me.
Did you also see
Call me
where
first.
so Joy Taylor wasn't married yet?
No, she was married.
She was married
It was a
when the
fresh
affair started.
marriage.
Right, they had just got married.
Okay, because I know in the court docs it said that the reason that Joy Taylor's ex-husband didn't come out publicly was because Charles Dixon paid
Yep.
him back for all the wedding deposits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I didn't think they were married yet.
Yeah.
That was read correctly. So one, we can quickly get past this because it's pretty easy. Why do you think the focus is on Joy Taylor and not Skip Bayless?
Misogyny is the answer. I think
Alright.
that's
Goddamn
Right,
patriarchy.
right.
it's it's more entertaining for people to talk about the woman involved and her sleeping with multiple men and seeing the videos. Emmanuel H.O. is saying nice things about her. Oh, look, see, because he could never say nice things about a woman he ain't fucking, like it's easier to do shit like that than it is to say, yeah, Skip Bayless probably did offer all that money. And it is people talking about Skip Bayless as well, just not the same amount.
I if it was up to me, if I don't read the damn lawsuit, I'm thinking that Joy is on the damn
Hell
book.
yeah,
yeah,
she the
you
main
thinking
person.
that she got sued.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, no, Joy Taylor did not get sued.
Yeah. So
Right.
one of the things that wasn't mentioned on Joy, because it is wild, is the whole if Charles does anything to me.
I'm gonna come out and say you rape me.
Yes, she
Yeah.
also did say at the time of that becoming a discussion between her and Faraji, she did say, "Well, I'm powerful now too, so it can't. So if he do some shit, I got something for his ass."
Right.
'Cause
Right.
She felt like she's rise to ranks. All of the shit that she's done with him has benefited, and she powerful too. So
Dumb as
he can't
hell.
just stump on me if he want to.
You ain't never bigger than a program, baby. Never.
Yeah.
Especially
I
Fox.
think I didn't interpret it that way.
Okay.
I just thought that she was saying she was powerful now because she can say he raped me and that's powerful enough. I didn't.
Oh, you thought it was that?
I
Okay.
didn't. But I guess now that I think about it, they have to be tied together,
Mhm.
right? Because I know that that's just not how that applies to every woman.
Mhm.
I think because she has her platform, she's saying if I say it,
Yeah.
it means something different. But I don't think she was saying like, oh, I'm too big for Fox to replace me or like that kind of.
Mm.
No, that's not what you were saying. But like not in like any. She's powerful because of any of her accomplishments. Like,
No, just a
I
woman
didn't-
crying rape is powerful.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was the way I took that.
Did she say that before or
Allegedly.
after?
This is
Okay,
all alleged.
alleged.
This is not proven. This is all from Faraji's perspective.
Right.
Okay, so allegedly, did she say that after Faraji told her what he
After.
did to her?
Yeah.
Okay.
After.
I feel like that's wrong. Like if she did say that,
Mhm.
and it's speculation that she could have said that.
Mm-hmm.
If she did, I feel like that's wrong, and that's also something that occurs a lot in our community, whether it be just for women or just for Black women.
Yeah.
But it seems as though that she uses what she uses on her body or on her face or whatever. She uses that to get to where she's at. And then when it comes to a woman being less powerful, it don't seem like she's like, what do they call it? A girl's girl.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I feel like
Yeah.
that's a little crazy. And I low-key feel like she put her in that situation to be used, because if you know what's going on and you doing what you're doing, why wouldn't you let me know what's up?
Ooh, see, this is where my tinfoil hat comes on now.
Oh shit. Let's go,
Let's
T.
go.
Hypothetically, let's say that this is all true,
Okay.
right? Why would Skip target Faraji? Does Skip know that Joy and Charles fucking? And so, okay, that's yours. That's her bestie. They always around. We be at these parties. I'm finna go after her. Or he just randomly just chose Faraji because he hot to him. Like, why her? Because there's so many people that work in Fox. You could have chose so many other girls.
And I think that's what makes me lean towards it was something about her specifically.
Mm.
Like I don't think it was like okay, this your situation kind of thing like it was with Charles. I think it was just like he liked her and he stuck with it for years.
Yeah.
Like I think he just had something weird going on that he wanted that woman for whatever reason, but I just think that's it.
It could be a case where like they play off of the ambition that they see in others. Like if he know that she's somebody who want to take the job seriously, work her way up the ranks, and actually be respected as whatever, he could have played off of that and used that to his advantage. Maybe everybody else just cool with their little segment and they cool with their little position and, you know what I'm saying, under whatever umbrella. But you know, a lot of people take advantage of the fact that you want to become. And it may take a certain amount of time and accolades to get there, but they could take advantage of the fact that, you know, maybe you want to get there faster than you should.
Right. That applies to a lot of people, but at that point, who else here was she gonna do?
Right.
Like it was he. Oh, so you saying he allowed her in that position, and because she was in that position, he believed that like she would just go because to stay in that position.
Yeah. Let me.
Okay. I can see it from that perspective.
I see you want to be at a particular, you know, I see you want to be at a particular status, or financially, see you want to be in, you know, somewhere. I got access to that. I can do that for you. You do this for me. And maybe they only present that, you know, they only propose that to people who they know could be susceptible to it. Like, I noticed the ambition in you. I see you here an hour and a half early before we, you know, even start or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They could just pick that out. And somebody who's been in business for that long can probably see that in people.
I think so, but I don't think it applies to this one specifically, only because it took years after the advances to offer the money.
Yeah.
I think that was like him it was desperation at that point.
Just Hail Marys.
You know, yeah. So I don't think it was more like, oh, I'm about to dangle this over her head and make her come get it.
And I'm not saying it applied to this particular case. I'm just doing like a little what if. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that happen in this industry. Just to take it even further, I mean, like just
that was
in
Charles
general,
and Joy.
I think
Allegedly.
victims in this industry are made when they have a mindset of lack. I lack this and you have that, so I'm willing to do this.
So I was going to tie in this convo with us just talking about, do we think Joy Taylor is a victim? Allegedly, if this is true, let's say this is true, do we think that Joy Taylor is a victim?
No.
I will go with no too. I feel like she's desensitized.
Okay, Jonesy, quick. We're going to talk why.
Yeah,
quick.
nah, I don't think so.
I'm going to be the contrarian.
Okay.
But I'm going to hear y'all. Do I believe this? Not too much. But I have a loophole to where I can see her being a victim if she explained it this way. So I'm going to explain that way after I hear y'all perspective of why she's not a victim.
I say no because everybody is saying that she did not have the qualifications to become the host on this Fox show, right? She said, now this assuming everything is true the way that it reads in the lawsuit.
Skip ain't even on the show.
Right, Skip didn't want her on the show. She said that she only had the job because of Charles Dixon, which to me sounds like they already had a relationship and he put her on the show because of the relationship they already had. That's not you being a victim. That's not the same thing as you're my employee. I'm about to tell you if you don't do this, then you won't have this, blah, blah, blah. That's shit. I put you on here. I put you on here because of what we was already doing. That, to me, sounds like, okay, I'm about to do this with this man who got this power and then tell him that I want that. That's not victimhood to me.
Yeah, that's kind of the same sentiments I got. Because just reading the court docs, it sounded like they was already familiar with each other and fucking around. And then they wanted to create a show, and he put on it.
Okay. I could say likewise. I do feel like a lot of the time we see people with this type of thing, and especially in that type of business, like, you see this person, okay, I kind of like him for that. Like, he may not be looking that good because he don't look that good. But yeah, okay, I'm going to use this to get to where I need to be. So I don't feel like that's a victim, but I do feel like it's kind of a victim mindset because, like, why can't you just work hard to get to where you need to be? You know, like, why do you, as a woman, have to use that type of thing, like your vagina?
Your
or sex
vagina.
or, yeah.
My
I
bad.
don't know.
Hey.
Exactly.
Okay. So we all are aware of how the media portrays women in entertainment, how they fuck their way to the top.
Right.
You can watch any Tyler Perry movie; it'll show you that.
They said that about every woman.
Yes.
They said that about Kamala Harris.
Yes,
Yep.
All
you
them
had to
jobs
have-
she had.
Yes, any woman in
Like,
position.
who
had to
she
have-
fucked to become the
Hey,
senator?
Yep.
T, let's have a segment on him one of these days.
Wait, say again.
Who-
Tyler
Let's,
Perry?
let's have a segment on Tyler Perry one of these days.
One of these days. One of these days.
Oh, shit. That's an episode.
And so this is already what she has to battle with. This is me trying to present a case of how she could be a victim.
Oh, she
mean,
has a victim
doesn't
case.
mean
Yeah.
doesn't mean I believe it or I agree with it, right? Let's say that she started off as Faraji. She just wanted because a lot of people are trying to talk about her not being qualified for the show. That is debatable. I don't know. I wasn't there to know who her competition was, but what I have seen is they wanted to create this show with Skip and Shannon. They needed a woman to moderate. And so there were people that were all candidates. Charles Dixon was like, do this as a favor, because Skip did not want the girl to be the moderator.
Right.
And so he said, do this for me as a favor. And so the girl, Joy Taylor, became the moderator.
Mm-hmm.
They were fucking, allegedly, leading up to that for him to be like, hey, please, let her be it. Cool.
Right.
We all understand that part. But we don't know Joy Taylor's perspective of how she even got to that point of fucking him. She was living in Miami. She went to school for journalism. So she has the expertise. This is where she wants to be. It's not, because people are saying she was just a bartender and she had no experience at all. That's not true. She had experience. She just probably didn't have the same experience as all these other women that were more qualified.
I don't think that count. Like, if you have a degree and you didn't have any kind of job, how the fuck you end up all the way on Fox? Like that's different. Like from saying that she was just completely unqualified because she ain't have a degree, never studied. Like, I'm unqualified. I don't know shit about it, right?
Right.
She's not me. She went and got a degree, but Fox can't be your first fucking job.
That wasn't her first job. She had jobs before Fox. It just was not Fox. It was local shit. That's where she moved to LA to really chase the bigger dreams. But she was doing local shit in Miami.
Right.
And so she moved here for those opportunities. Her husband stayed behind in Miami. They just became married, and he stayed behind and home where they're from.
Mhm.
She comes from a family that's affluent, and they are known in the entertainment world. And so she could have, I don't know
Her
why
brother
she
was a football player.
So I don't know why she chose to do what she chose to do, but I can understand the person that feels like I can't get to where I want to go.
Right.
Let me fuck this nigga,
Mhm.
right? But I don't know if it was out the gate, fuck the nigga, or ill no Charles doing Skip shit, and she like ill, and then eventually was like I gotta get this job,
And
so
that's-
now I'm finna do it, right? Let's
Does
say
that
she does.
make you a victim?
So
though?
this is where more of the victim part come, where she spoke about the victim mindset. She started off as Faraji, no coochie, sir. Said yes. She realized what yes does for her. And so now she has this whole like, it worked out for me, man. Just let that shit slide. She has this victim mentality. And then it gets to the point where she talked about, okay, well, I'm powerful now. I can use this shit against him. And I think, let's say hypothetically, we don't know if Charles started to now badger her because she no longer wants to fuck him. She want to fuck Emmanuel and other people that she actually prefer. It's, let's say he started to say, okay, well, I got you this shit at with Skip and them. I'm gonna take it away. I'll take it away at the snap of a finger if you don't keep fucking me. This is where we don't know these things, right? And I'm just trying to build a case of how she could be a victim. And this is why she's probably still trying to tell Faraji, like, hey man, this nigga on my head now. Let the nigga slap your ass. That's my little spiel.
I think for me to call somebody who enters a situation with a choice feels disrespectful to all of the victims who did not have a fucking choice. And I feel like if someone is saying you're going to lose your job if you don't fuck me, is way different from saying you won't get this job unless you fuck me. I think those two things are different. I think you can just make the choice to not have the fucking job. And I think that's way different from somebody who doesn't have a choice, who can't tell you no. And I feel like for me to consider her a victim in that just don't feel right. Because it's like, you could just not do it. You could just not have the job. taking some shit away from you,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, cool. Now you're a victim. Now you got to weigh an option. You got to
Right.
weigh this. Or you can say, well, fuck it. I can't go get this job at Fox. Let me wait till this one at ESPN open up. Let me wait till NBC open up or
Right.
whatever, right? Like, that's how that happens, right? So it's like, I don't know if that makes you a victim. Now, is somebody wrong for that proposition? For saying, hey, if you fuck me, I give you this job. They bogus as hell.
100%.
They bogus as hell. You taking it, I don't know if that makes you a victim.
It's all in the circumstances for me. I feel like this is one of them circumstantial things. Like
Yeah.
if your boss or like if the exec offers like, hey, you know, fuck me for this position, and then you say no, and then everything returns to politics as normal, you continue to have your career, your job, cool. But I think if that same situation played out, and you already know that your boss has a history of like reprimanding people that go against his creepiness, you have a choice, but you really don't have a choice, if you get what I'm saying.
And yeah, that is different from if the person is already your boss, victim, 100%, because you shouldn't have to decide that, right? Somebody who is not your boss, who doesn't have any control over you, is just offering you something. You just asked her if she would do some straight shit for $1.5 million. If she took it, she's not a fucking victim. Nobody would say that. Now, if you were her boss, victim.
100%.
Immediately. Her taking the 1.5, that don't make you a victim. Like, no, you took it. So you took it for you lost your dignity, your morals, or whatever, but you chose to do that.
Man, I still think they make him a victim though.
I don't think you can be a voluntary victim. I don't think it works like that.
Because like I said, it's circumstantial. So if it is on some like, you know, if you tell your boss no, your job gonna be fucked up, or you might even get fired. So even though the reward is still given to you, I still feel like that person can be a victim in the same time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the person, when it's already your boss, you're always a victim. I'm saying if it's a motherfucker you don't work for, they don't have no power over you, and
you just fucking for money. Okay,
right, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. I thought we was talking about the bosses.
Right. You just got a better price. But some people it's $40. Miss London $6,000. You could have been $1.5 million. Like, but that's different. He was already her boss, you know. So I'm not saying that lady would be a victim in that situation. But like, if it's somebody just offering you some shit, you don't have to take it. Now, if somebody threatening to take something away from you, that's a different circumstance. Now you become a victim. Or if you think they have the ability to take something away from you, you're a victim.
100%.
You got to decide. Motherfucker saying, hey, you know, hey T, my homie trying to talk to you. I'll buy you something to eat if you give him your number. You're not no victim if you give it to him.
Yeah, no.
You could have went upstairs and ate.
So do you?
Like,
so the little hypothetical I gave, you don't see any victim in that at all.
I do. The hypothetical that you gave.
Yeah.
I do think you can become victimized later.
Yeah.
But I don't think you would be a victim for entering the situation. Right? I don't think you are a victim because the relationship exists, which is what a lot of people which is kind of like how she would spend it, right? If she's saying like this inappropriate relationship because this is my boss, right? Well, if y'all had the relationship before he was your boss, that's different.
So he was always her boss,
right?
Right.
No,
I still can see a way where she tries to spin it and it doesn't work.
But he wasn't always. I mean, if y'all were fucking before he was your boss, and that's why he gave you the job.
No, so she was already employed with Fox. She just didn't have a stay. She was a sometime, let me call to have a woman here to sit and spot for the moderators, but she didn't have a a main role like she did get with the Skip and Shannon show. So she was always employed there. She just wasn't a main character.
Okay, I missed that part.
Yeah,
that's different.
Yeah, so I can definitely see how she can try to spin this to be a start of some shit. And even when she did choose to have sex with him, I still can see how she can be considered a victim as she's rising the ranks. And he's saying, okay, now that you moving up, you giving me less coochie, give me more coochie. And she say, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I've got what I want out of you. And now he's like, okay, well, I'm going to take away some stuff if I can then.
Right. So I think in that situation, like, 100%. Like that's different.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of it as she did not work for Fox and he gave her the job.
Yeah, nah.
Like, you don't work for me, but if I start a company,
Yeah, nah.
cool, right? Like I guess I just misinterpreted that piece of it. But in that situation, yeah, absolutely, she would be a victim. And I think even if it was the way that I read it, she could still become the victim later on. Like, I just think she might be a victim of something else.
Yeah.
Like,
That definitely ended, and this is I'm only even holding space to talk about that and give that hypothetical to relate it to real world. Like, this typically happens a lot where someone is susceptible to power, they abide to it, they submit themselves to it, and then they teach it to the next when it's presented to that person now. The same way allegedly Joy Taylor did to Faraji.
Right.
I had to endure this shit. That's just the way of life, girl.
I had to pay my student loans. You pay them back too.
Yeah.
Right. The kind of silly shit.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
That's not right.
Yeah. What do you think? I know we got to wrap up soon.
Yes.
What do you think about the idea of her saying, well, shit, if he gets mad at me for fucking him, I'm going to just say he raped me?
That's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But we also are hearing it from Faraji's perspective, so I don't want to go too hard on it just yet. I need to see this proceed first. Let's hear Joy get on the stand and speak to that piece. Because she could just actually be talking about it from a victim mindset. Feel like maybe that my hypothetical is true and that's why she said it. But we just hearing it from Faraji, so it sounds wild. We missing some context.
You're saying she could have said,
She could have said
I'll admit, I'll open up about this. And this is what you're saying, not like I'll make it up.
yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I needed that context first before I go crazy on her.
Mm-hmm.
But that if that is how it was, then that's wild as fuck. And
Right. I was asking more about where we have come to as a society since like the Me Too movement has started and how it has transitioned to be something where somebody can just weaponize it and say, I'm going to say this happened to me, and knowing that people have to deal with the repercussions of that and with how people would respond. Like, generally in the open and public perception.
I do think that's a topic to expound upon because a lot of times that could be weaponized. Like you said, people could wait 20, 30 years and then come out and say, this happened to me. And although they say innocent until proven guilty, like we just tend to see them as guilty for even being mentioned or even being involved in something like that.
The thing is, at this point, it seems like the way that society is, we're wrong for not immediately seeing someone as guilty when they're accused of something like that. And that's why we brought up Stephen A. defending Diddy when he never said, I'm going to speak to Jason and Skip when we saw those, right? He never said they did or didn't do shit.
Right.
But we say he defended them because he spoke of their character, right?
Right.
Which is like anything that you can say that isn't fuck him, burn him on the cross, seems like you are not on the victim side.
Right. Because they're like, how dare you say that? You know how many women are abused?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, how did we get all the way here? Where it's like, I do know that most, there are way more cases that are reported that are true than are false.
yes.
Right. I know that. I know that there are so many cases that go unreported. Right?
Yeah.
But how did we get to a point where we say, I'm going to throw all of my critical thinking out of the window? And if I say I'm critically thinking about any case involving sexual assault, that I'm now seen as a rape apologist.
I think that's a layered response. I think it depends on the example that we use. Many of us that aren't able to read and write and we respond to stuff like that,
Right.
we do say dumb shit. Nah, that bitch lying. We'll say something like that. But a Stephen A will say something that's more thought about, write it out, put it on the teleprompter. It's a more rational response. And so I think because we have so many voices that are the dumb fucks that say things, that the typical human being, we're just used to waiting for you to just say that. And you ain't even got to say it. We just think you finna say that because we hear so much of that on our day-to-day, and we don't listen to too many people that create a real structured response. So I think it's just, I really think it's because we so used to the dumb fuckery responses that we just don't really actually
Mm-hmm.
listen to a nigga when someone actually really says something profound and gives a real structured response.
Right.
I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Where we going next, T?
Next, we can breeze through this.
Hold
'cause
on.
What's
Court
up?
adjourned.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you, Cal.
I ain't got no intro. I got the outros though.
Thank you, Cal.
I
Thank
got
you for that.
Hey.
Okay, y'all let us know what y'all thought about Cal's Court.
I fuck with Kyle's Court.
I want to skip past this Braun and Drake shit and just get straight to mental health.
Yeah, we can go to mental
Can
health.
I just say Drake a bitch?
That's fine.
I said
That's
it.
your, do what you want.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
I'm tired of talking about Drake at this point.
Okay. All right, so TikTok is currently on trial
Oh, man.
with the American government.
That shit pissing
I-
me
I
off. I
thought
don't know
they
what we're
lost,
gonna
didn't
do.
Or not lost, but it's adjourned.
We're gonna have to get out here and sell the CDs.
Selling CDs.
Like we back in the old day with our TikTok. Damn. How they gonna
So
find
I
us?
did see that they have a new company that they're going under called Lemon 8.
Yeah, I have a
believe.
I
Yeah.
started a profile for that.
But so my question is, how do y'all feel about that? Do y'all feel is they paint it as we're protecting, the United States of America from, foreign countries spying on us and, potentially being a threat war-wise? Or do y'all see it as we can't control this? This is something where people can actually do things in liberation. And so we want to shut this down.
Okay. Let's give backstory first of the band.
Yeah, because I was gonna go in.
And so this has been an ongoing battle with TikTok and the American government. The American government first came out and said, we think TikTok is selling our data, our American citizens' data to whoever, right? And TikTok's like, no, we're not. These niggas just be dancing in pet videos, right? And so America was like, nah, y'all niggas lying. Prove it. They prove it. And they're still like, nah, we still want this shit gone. And he's like, why? I don't know, but we just want it gone. And so now we're at the point where we're at the end of them having discussions. Trump's about to become president. He came out and said, I want to try to save this shit. I don't want it to be banned. I'm open to negotiation. And so they're currently negotiating to figure out something. But TikTok CEO is very adamant. I'm not selling my company to an American buyer. We're just not going to allow this app to be here in America anymore if you all want to ban us. Because the ban was going to turn into like, hey, everyone that has TikTok currently on your devices, you can keep it. Because legally, we can't just take away some shit from y'all. We're in a democracy. But after a certain amount of months of having it on your phone, TikTok's going to update. It's going to fizzle out on your phone. You're not going to be able to use it anymore. So that's the American way of like, okay, we're going to ban this shit, but So now we're at the point where we don't know an exact answer just yet. We're still waiting. They're still negotiating, figure some shit out. But currently, it doesn't look well. Yeah. So we get a lot of traction off of TikTok. That's how we get a lot of our new viewers that get to see us because their algorithm was designed to where anybody can be seen.
Right.
However you want to, you can be seen on that particular algorithm. And that's why I think America wants to ban TikTok, because it started that way with Instagram and with Facebook. You had so many black and brown people liberating themselves financially by becoming viral sensations. And that was too much. Too many black and brown millionaires. And so we need to shut this shit down. That's why you have Meta. Because Zuckerberg was also on trial for actually selling our data.
Right.
He actually was proven to sell our data.
Right.
So now he has to share shit with the American government of what they're doing. But the nigga, they're both in each other's pockets.
Yeah.
So that's why you now have to buy ads to boost your content. Like, these are things that I actually have to deal with, where I have to become a Meta user to be able to talk to their customer service to figure out, why are we shadow banned? Why do I have 23K followers on Facebook, but I'm only having 10 to 15 views on the reel now, when we used to go uber viral?
Right.
And they tell me, hey, maybe you should just boost your content. Hey, spend money with us for us to want to push your shit now. You don't have to worry about that on TikTok. You have the choice to spend bread or to just organically get somebody to fuck with your shit.
Right.
So yeah, let's
Can I
talk
go
about
first?
it.
Oh, I'm so sorry for cutting you off.
You
But
okay?
I am very adamant, and I feel strongly about TikTok because it's something that is not controlled. You cannot control TikTok
Mhm.
because it is controlled by the youth.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go along with that. I feel like it's not controlled. So it's a lot harder to control who profits off of that, let alone young Black youth. And I also feel like you learn a lot from TikTok. You learn a lot from, you see things that you don't see about I forget the names, but the wars that's going on, the fires that's going
Palestine,
on.
you mean?
Yeah. And it's like, you can't control what a person posts on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And that person could be somebody that's up in Iraq or in Africa where all that stuff is going on, or down here where they trying to make us pay for stuff like on Instagram. And I feel like it's a totally different algorithm. And the fact that they can't control it, control the news that's being spread, widely spread and fast at that, like just about Los Angeles, you know, they can't control how people view that because the people are talking and showing their perspective. And I feel like that's a big reason why the United States or America wants to take control of it and ban it. Like they've done this already, and they did it back when coronavirus was real big. And they started posting about how it's a weapon. It's been weaponized by America. And I feel like that's why that was one of the biggest reasons they would post, even if you do it on Instagram. But it's real big on TikTok. If you post something, they're going to say, check your facts.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't post that on nothing else.
It's only on Meta apps.
Exactly.
And Twitter, where you see Elon. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's crazy. And that's why they want to do it. Because, like, even me and Cortland was just talking about this earlier, how Mark Zuckerberg, I believe, yes, and Joe Rogan, he was on Joe Rogan podcast. And he spoke about how somebody in the government contacted him, yelling at him about how he needs to stop talking about coronavirus being weaponized. Somebody in a Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
But we gonna leave it at that because I ain't gonna get into the politics. But I feel like that's a big reason because they can't control it.
Okay.
They can't control what people can say.
What y'all got?
I think it's all about money.
Okay.
I was going to say Facebook. America wants to control the data that comes through TikTok. They want the data and they want the algorithm. TikTok don't want to sell it to them. Whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe it's some more reason they know they're going to sell our shit. They don't want to. Or maybe they want the data and the algorithm for themselves. I don't care. They made the shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just what I think it comes down to. I think Trump is on some, this is a good thing in America, but America we aren't the majority. America isn't the majority profiter or gainer from the app's data. And I think that's what America wants is the data.
Right.
Okay.
I do think that China is saying I won't sell my app. Not China. The TikTok CEO saying I won't sell my app because they now have to sell the algorithm is enough
Right.
reason to not sell it, like just off the competitive stuff. But I think the reason America wants it is more for censorship than anything else. Like the mix of what y'all both were saying, because you were talking about Black and brown people liberating themselves, and then you went to like financial, which I agree. I do think like they care about that, but I think like I was all the way with you 100%. I think it's more about like how we liberate ourselves, like she was saying with the Palestine videos and all of that. Like they were actually in Congress speaking about how TikTok is a pro-Palestine app. Like there's videos of the man standing in Congress saying that shit. We know Elon Musk bought Twitter, and now it's just a right-wing app.
I was going to say, it's right as hell.
All you see is just all kind of conservative shit.
Yeah.
Now, and like it's proven that he's been fucking with the algorithm. Like that shit just came out. Like Twitter employees have said that he has done things to put himself on your profile like a lot, and I think it's a part of a grander scheme going on that doesn't really have to do with TikTok. I think they know that would be the last thing that we have that they don't have control over, right? Because you got Elon Musk with his Trump ties who got Twitter. Facebook is Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know about his political affiliations, but looking at the moves that he's making now, like removing transgender flags and things like that from Messenger, and saying that now y'all can say whatever the fuck y'all want to. We don't care about facts on Facebook anymore. Like a lot of the shit he's like came out with in the last week.
Y'all can cuss on Facebook now. You ain't gotta do SSA anymore.
Yeah, that and talking about the free speech, but it's more off of like they're not gonna do the check your facts thing anymore. People can get on there and say whatever the fuck they want to.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Trump's president now. I think that's a good timing piece to point out. He's president now, so we don't have to make sure that y'all listening to us about what's facts.
Or we're the ones that's always fucking lying and it's documented that we're the ones that's always lying. Like the Republican Party, that's just what the fuck they do over and over and over again. And we want to be able to lie to y'all and control it without y'all having something else to go against us. Because if we gonna let all the lies and shit exist on Facebook, everybody who sees all the shit that's going on, y'all could just get on TikTok and talk about it. And I don't have shit to like. There's no overseer
police it,
at that point, and that's what it is. They know that that's gonna be the motherfucking Underground Railroad. At that point, literally, like
the underground algorithm.
Get right, dead ass. Like, and I think it's that they want to control, especially when you look at all of the other shit that's happening outside of social media, right? With we gonna ban these books. Like, when the fuck did y'all start banning books? Except the fact that they're
like
literally
the 70s.
Yeah, they've been banning books.
Yeah, they've been banning books for a minute.
but not at that
I'm
rate.
following
You know what I'm
you,
saying?
yeah.
Where like, yeah, you might ban a specific book, that kind of thing for whatever reason, but it wasn't like we gonna ban a whole fucking genre of books. I ain't never heard of no shit like that until these last few years, right? But
stop teaching race in school.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like the stop teaching the race and all of that. It's all just the fucking mind control that they showing us that they own already. I can't believe that TikTok is not a part of that when they're saying we don't like the information that they're getting off of TikTok.
One of the things Congress has said is we feel like you're adding division between our citizens.
That's so crazy to say. And so I think this is a situation where everybody's right. Everybody in the room is right. When it comes down to money, who mentioned that before? Jonesy. You mentioned that it comes down to money. So of course they do want their hand in whatever pot that's going on. You got taxes, whatever. Mark Zuckerberg, to your point about Trump is president now. So now he's whistleblowing about censorship when it was radio silence, at first under a different, administration. And so I even, like Jenna mentioned, I was watching a Joe Rogan interview this morning, and he was saying, oh, censorship, we want to give people freedom to say whatever they want to say. It was a mistake. Everybody that was blocked in the past or banned in the past, it was a mistake. We had the settings of our algorithm or our AI wrong to detect certain things, so a certain percentage of people were wrongly accused of doing anything that's offensive to the platform, whatever.
Right, because you couldn't say ass, but you could say oh, you won't.
Exactly.
There wasn't no fucking accident.
That wasn't
exactly.
But I'm with you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he got to speaking about, it was a mistake, things were programmed wrong, whatever. So now he's coming out saying that he's all for, freedom of speech. Let's not, push censorship in terms of the algorithm and stuff like that. And so I do believe when it comes to TikTok, they definitely want to control the views and the perceptions or perspectives on things. And they don't like how free, they'll never be, there's nothing out like TikTok right now with such a loose algorithm. It's a lot of liberation in terms of people being able to make money, people being able to advertise and market themselves, people being able to, advise and spread information on whatever topic. Yeah. Nobody's being censored like that. Like if you're not making any noise on TikTok, you probably just suck, bro. You gotta sit with that, You know what I'm saying?
We have another piece to this. This was just a topic to get us to that part, but I do want to wrap up this TikTok thing so we end this episode. I feel like we kind of giving TikTok a little bit too much kudos. It is still an app that is not Black owned. There is still racism in that algorithm. I've experienced it many times. Many other creators on that app has experienced it many times. So let's not go too far and give TikTok too much praise, right? But that app has been the app that has allowed all of you beautiful listeners to find us more than any other app. So I'm still very grateful for TikTok, and I would hate for it to go for us. But if you are here and you have found us through TikTok or any other place, stay here with us if you fuck with us and follow us to our Discord. You can find our Discord at the top of our website. Join the Discord community today link. You can click that. You can find it at the bottom if you're on your phone viewing the website. Find it at the very bottom and choose the Discord icon. All our links are at the bottom of our website if you view them from your phone. And join our Discord. It's free for everybody. There's just different terms and conditions to what you can do in our Discord. And I might even open that up too, just as I see more people joining our shit. But I want us all to just house our community on that app so that you do not lose us, lose the episodes that we're dropping and all the things that we're talking about. It's so many channels that I'm going to add to the Discord for everybody to be seen and heard. You'll have an anime channel. You'll have a sports channel. You'll have all these different channels to find community in on our Discord app.
We're going to have a Big Booty Hoes channel too.
Big Booty.
No?
You also can join the club. The club is our subscription service where you'll get bonus exclusive content from us.
Clubbies. Gonna be a clubby.
Don't let TikTok banning keeping you from fucking with club culture. You still will know where you can find us.
We on limit
Can we
8 after this.
put together a
We on limit
clubbies
8.
package?
What-
Like if they pick like the top subscription thing, they get like a welcome package, like a sticker, a T-shirt.
You gonna get a welcome video, motherfucker.
Yeah, you gonna pay
shit.
for it, nigga.
I mean, maybe like the first X amount of people.
That is more like it.
Get a, yeah.
You get a Jonesy fat head.
You don't get shit from me.
I mean, shit. The first 10 people to join our VIP membership, you'll get something special sent to you because I'll get your shipping information.
Get
Facts.
Jonesy, he gonna let you kill his butt.
I don't know.
Wow,
Not
that
this
is
one.
crazy. That is crazy, Cal.
Sign up to be a clubby today, and you can probably get my nudes.
Wow,
It's the best I
okay.
could do.
So to wrap up this topic stemming from TikTok, I think all of us are all still on the same theme of this being a power move by America.
Facts.
Yeah, they on a bunch of bullshit.
America don't know how not to be able to be in control of something. And I always can tie some shit into mental health. So this is my way of doing so. I want us all to describe a time where authority was leading us, but really it was a ploy for their own benefit. That's how we'll end the episode, speaking to an experience you could think of. You
I know
had someone-
something had to happen in the military. I just can't pinpoint that. You said authority was acting as authority,
Yes.
but it was for their personal gain, correct?
Yes. So like, no. It's
No?
too many mics. Just the people on camera.
No?
Yes.
You said that's not,
No. Yes.
authority acting in, honestly, any or not any, however you feel. But I feel like a lot of like how black people in the military are treated, and this is stemming from my experience. I'm not making a blanket statement.
I heard about that.
But just off of mine, like the authority that gets placed on us, I feel like that's personally driven due to racism. So yeah, I feel like trying to think. I'm trying to give a concrete, specific.
Okay. You want me to come back to you?
We can, yeah.
You got anything at the top of your head? Oh shit, you dying over there, Cal.
Because I want to
I'll fill
use
in
me
for
getting
Cal.
kicked out,
I got one,
but I did. I earned a
Do your
position.
thing, because
Yeah.
Pastor Cortland gonna take too long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Um,
I want to use me getting kicked out as the example,
Uh-huh.
but the only reason I don't want to use that is because I earned being under that light in the first place.
Okay.
So that's why it gets a little tricky. It's like, yeah, nigga, you wasn't really the best you could be,
Mm-hmm.
but that also shouldn't have happened to you.
Got you. Okay. What you got, Cal?
I think no one enters into authority except for their own benefit. I don't think that anyone is a leader to lead others solely for the purpose of leading others. I don't believe that. I
Okay.
believe that every basketball coach that I had cared about his players, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he wanted to win a championship to be known as a championship winning coach, right? Like, I don't believe that I don't believe that most people are doing anything that's not in their benefit in some kind of way,
Mm-hmm.
but especially somebody who enters into a position of authority
Mm-hmm.
because they have to take on a responsibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the way that I read the question, it seemed like it was like I didn't know that it was for their benefit.
Yes.
Kind of way.
That's what I mean.
right?
It was a ploy.
Right.
Yeah.
Which to me, it can apply to like so many things,
Mhm.
but especially like I think about like the police and shit all the time, because technically they're the authority and
Right.
shit, right? And I remember it was one time, not a long time ago, some months ago, I was driving my grandfather's car. He had a Lexus. I was on the 103rd and Halsted. It ain't too many Lexuses look like that on the 103rd and Halsted. I'm riding past. Now, you know, the Lexus seatbelt beep and shit, right? I hate that shit. So I never get in the car and start the motherfucker before my seatbelt is on because I hate the fucking sound. So when I go past Harold's right there and the police speed around the corner and come and chase me down, right? And say, we saw you without your seatbelt on. Nigga, I know you lying, right? you just trying to see what the fuck I got going on because you think somebody my age is not supposed to be driving this car. You right, I'm not. It's my granddaddy's, right? But it went later on. So there was a bunch of bullshit. They ended up letting me go once they found out it was my grandfather's car and shit like that, right? Later on, I found out that those 2 police officers had ended up getting arrested because they would go around stopping people like that, find them in situations that they weren't supposed to be in, or maybe just a vulnerable situation. Like it was one lady that she had her FOID and her concealed carry license, and but they still took her gun from her just because they could take it.
Yeah.
And because there was no record of stopping her because she was walking down the street, right? So she's walking down the street and they say whatever they said to get her attention, she's thinking she has to stop. But they don't have to mark that because it's not a traffic stop.
Yeah.
So they get to go and take your shit. And they had been doing that over and over to the point that it was one person who they ended up letting leave who had a warrant for a murder out at that time. And I saw the pictures. I'm looking at the shit and I'm like, this shit is fucking crazy. Like, what was they finna try to get from me that day? I was trying to go take my uncle some food.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, what did I do right that they didn't take my gun? Like, and I was trying to figure shit out like that, where I don't think I've had a situation that I was in directly where I felt like somebody tricked me into thinking it was for my benefit and it was for theirs. No, you know, not directly like that, but I think there are so many things that are for somebody else's benefit that they didn't necessarily say it was for mine either.
Yeah.
But it's for yours and you hiding that. But I think it's that, like with the damn near teachers too, in a way. Like it's different from like they don't get a championship, but you get to say, "Oh, I got students doing this, and that." You know, I'm so proud of them. Blah blah blah. Yeah, you know,
you teach at a prestige school, so that just proves that you're the best teacher.
Pass the students that technically didn't really pass just because you get money at the end of the year if they all pass the standardized test.
Yeah, you know,
you got your example now.
I want to leave my military one on just a little on the table.
Okay.
But I do want to come behind Khyle with a cop story because I got pulled over. Oh my God. I had I had weed, a pistol, a shotgun, a scale, a grinder, and my license was expired. Not my license. My license plate was expired. And it's like 3 a.m. And my car smelled like weed.
My fault. My
What's
license was expired when they called me. No, my license was suspended. Not expired. My shit was suspended. Them niggas let me go. Because I ain't had shit for them to take, I guess. Shit was crazy. But anyway, sorry.
But yeah, I had all that shit on me.
Yeah.
And as soon as he hit the lights, I'm like, I'm in Glen Park. This is enough to go to jail, but is it enough to where I'll be it's an uncomfortable long stay? But anyway, so I pull over. They going through my shit. Your car smell like weed. Putting all my stuff on the
dashboard.
No, not the dashboard.
Roof?
The roof. You know what I'm saying? Laying out all that shit. And after they searched my car, nigga, they tore down the goddamn underliner of my what's the name?
Roof?
Of the dash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like my shit is all torn apart.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, nigga, I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
Bro, come back. He was like, all right, you good. This ain't what we looking for. And I'm like, what? And then he threw my grinder. And then I remember he poured my weed out, stepped on it, and threw my guns in the trunk and left. I was like, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah.
So maybe I just didn't have what he was looking for, but he used his authority to see what the fuck I had.
Okay. I'll use an example a little bit closer to home for the viewers. Because you all spoke to people that just like have that power dynamic. Their occupation is to be in authority of some shit. I said this already on the pod spot, but we have new listeners, so they probably don't remember it. My senior year of high school, everybody that I basically grew up playing basketball with on AAU teams, they all came to my high school because they was running away from issues at their high schools. Now, mind you, I've been the star at this school since my freshman year. I chose to go to a public school. They all went private schools. And so we've been winning my entire time. I've fixed the organization up. Cool. I was happy for everybody to come because I felt like, okay, now we really finna get over humps and go far into like sectionals and shit. We had a very successful regular season. We were like 17-5, but it was a rocky 17-5 record because our coaches, they were doing nasty shit to students behind the scene.
Right.
One student in particular, she gave me a lot of problems my senior year. I welcomed her in when she transferred over. She was getting bullied at her school. I grew up with this girl. We played through AAU from sixth grade to high school. We've been hooping together. And I don't know what it was, but I want to say it probably stems from just maybe issues that she got going on at home. But she kind of seemed like she was a hater towards me. But even through all of that, I still allowed her to try to find some type of friends at this new school that she's at. So I'll bring her around my friends. I'll let her be a part of my singing group that I created. We'll go throughout Hammond, which is the city that I grew up in. We'll go through Hammond and we go sing for establishments and
For 3-piece.
no, it was a whole singing group like.
Yeah, but y'all sang for 3-piece.
No, we didn't, nigga. Shut up.
I'm gonna tell people that.
So long story short, the head coach was this girl's godmom.
Mhm.
This entire senior year, I was crying out that y'all were showing favoritism towards this girl. This is my fucking school. This is my team. Y'all not finna do this shit. Because we are, like, I know that we can really be great. Please
Right.
stop. And they were just telling me, no, T, you're crazy. You're tripping. Now you're just being a nuisance on the team. You just want to fuck up the team chemistry. And then eventually, the optics make it look like I really was.
Right.
Because I started now beefing with my best friend at the time, who was one of the star players too. But she was doing some weird shit. But she allowed that to be the narrative because she knew that I was dealing with the coaches not believing me when this whole time they was doing funky shit behind the scenes.
Right.
So long story short, that is, I felt like now that I discovered, that they was having, the godmom, the head coach, was having a relationship with her goddaughter. She was, and it came out while we were in college that became a thing. She had to step down. She chose to step down from being the coach because she ain't wanted to be a thing or whatever. But that was like all of them was also, she was also messing with the assistant coach who was showing herself to be my home girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel you, T. Yes, shorty be tripping sometimes, but they fucking. She like nobody had my back.
You mean
the assistant coach and the head coach was messing around.
Okay, I had to make sure not.
But the assistant coach was a little bit younger, closer to me, so she tried to make it seem like we were still allies. Me and her. That no, you the enemy too. I didn't know they was doing that.
Right.
I didn't know none of this shit until college.
Right.
Because the
Freaky
fucking
ass
girl,
coach.
yeah, freaky ass coach. And it's crazy because when I
coach,
came back
go
home from college to work out, I'm at the YMCA. That's what is popular in Indiana, YMCAs. And she was mentoring young ass kids. Like she was doing day camps with the kids. I'm getting ready to go to the gym. She walking with all these kids that just came back from swimming in the pool. And she gonna say hey to me. I didn't know what to say. I did not know what to say at that time. It was shocking that she was employed to be with kids. And it's because she just stepped down. Like nothing really happened from that shit. But she definitely was, framing herself as a ploy to be benefiting this entire team, being our head coach. But really, she was doing some freaky ass shit behind the scene.
And that's freaky ass coach.
Yes.
You a 2-3 god.
That's disgusting.
Very disgusting.
Wild as hell. So do you believe that she sought out a head coaching job to seek out teenagers? Or
No.
she got there and then was like, damn, I
Yes.
like them?
Yes.
Yeah, that's wild as hell.
She been knowing
I mean, either way, it was going to be wild.
Yeah. I think it started in high school for them. But she been her godmama for a minute, so I don't know when it started.
What you mean it started in high school?
Like their relationship, their past just being godmom and goddaughter.
Okay. You mean it started like when, when she was already in high school, but she was grown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember something being like, she can't really do much because she's like 18 or whatever when the shit was talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I feel like it probably started in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it didn't, man,
Still.
come on, man.
Still.
You wait till the motherfucking 18th birthday. You thought
Yes.
about it the day before.
Yes.
Like,
Yes. My senior year of high school was so terrible. This is the last piece I'll talk about with that. Me and the girl that is the victim,
Uh-huh.
the survivor, I hated that bitch. Like,
oh my God.
she was so mean to me our senior year. After I was so nice to her junior year, trying to bring her around my friends and shit.
Right.
She was so mean to me to where me and the best friend that was also starting the team started beefing. She loved that shit. It was one time when me and that girl that's the best friend, we got into an argument in practice. We was finna fight. She got in my face, and I was like, get the fuck out of my face before I slap the shit out of you. That was my favorite thing to say in senior year because I wanted to slap a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shorty gonna come and say to the best friend ear, like, she not gonna really do it. Man, I was so hot. I forgot Shorty's in my face. I wanted to go beat that girl ass. I could not stand Shorty. To this day, I still don't stand. I can't stand her, but I understand what she was going through. You feel me? Cool. But Shorty,
Should have slapped her.
wanted to smack the shit out of her. So it was our sports banquet. Mind you, I'm the most. I was 12th in my class, ranked 12th in my class.
Mm-hmm.
My GPA was like a 4.0 graduating high school.
And
I
you
had
was 12?
No, 12th in my class ranking.
Right.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, you was 12
Right.
with a
You was number
4.0?
two.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we had some nerds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So our sports banquet, there was one particular award that I was like, it's definitely mine. Because even if I feel like these niggas are being favored,
Mm-hmm.
they can't pass this up for me. It was the academic award.
Most minutes on the... Oh, you already said it.
It was the
Damn.
academic award, right? But they talking about the award. They talking about what this award means. I'm like, okay, cool. My mama there, my sister's there. My sister pregnant as hell. She real hormonal. These motherfuckers gonna say Shorty name to come get this award. Bro, that was the icing on the cake for me when they gave that award to that girl. So
Man, she seen her do her homework.
the girl,
You know?
the girl GPA was not a 4.0.
Yeah, I
It was
know.
not.
I know.
Was it a 3.9?
It was 3 something, but it was not a hot. Like, she probably was like a 3.6.
Okay.
Not no 4.
Not
no,
enough to, yeah.
No, she didn't graduate with honors. None of that.
No, they tried you.
They tried me, man. My pregnant ass sister got up. She was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, loud as hell. I was like, "Please, let's go. We got the fuck up out of here," because I was so embarrassed. I was so hot, and I didn't know what to say. But yeah, that shit pissed me off. But when I learned
Yeah.
about what she was doing or whatever, gave me a little compassion for Shorty.
Yeah,
That's good. That's growth.
I mean, I'm gonna always have compassion for survivors, but still,
That's
You know.
lit, man.
you know. But yeah,
that's-
y'all got any gems? We can get past that.
hey,
What's my gym? I gotta be writing these down, bro, because I just be chilling.
Cortland,
like,
pass
that's
the
gonna be my
Cortland.
gym.
Take us away. You
yeah,
got a gym?
Cortland always got us.
And just wrap us up with a gem.
For today,
Yeah.
ooh.
See if I wrote one somewhere.
see the think about the subject matter. I don't know. Y'all gotta come back to me. I don't know.
You got one?
mine.
Do your thing.
I got mine. My gem is that when you argue with people, you got to remember, like you were saying, it's a lot of motherfuckers that can't read,
Mhm.
right? And you got to remember that when we went to school, we weren't all in the same class,
Mhm.
right? I know I'm not the first nigga to say that, but I think it's important and more niggas need to say it.
Mhm.
We should not all be having conversations together.
Yeah. It's true. This is
I
facts.
agree.
This is facts.
And that's my gem. Everybody don't need to talk.
A lot of people won't like this pod because they can't read and write.
And they ain't gonna like it because my dumb ass is on it.
Yeah, that's
Look.
the gem. That's the gem. Look below the surface so you can judge correctly. Don't
Under
make a irrational decision or give an emotional response if you don't know what's going on. Like,
Facts.
definitely look below the surface. Everything in life is that deep. Pause.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jonesy,
look.
you got you one.
No, I
Oh,
was gonna say
Lord.
some gay shit.
All
I
right,
was
well,
like, I don't feel like it today.
Uh-huh.
I just don't feel like saying nothing gay today. Fuck it.
Damn.
It's gonna hurt me if I don't. You gotta look. You gotta look under the dick, man. You gotta look under the dick. Can't judge the top of the dick if you don't look under the bottom of it. I'm sorry, bro. Cortland did it. Cortland did it.
But why the bottom?
I
Why
don't
the bottom?
I don't know. This is something I want to talk about in therapy, man. Why do I like making dick jokes?
And that message is sponsored by Jonesy and Jonesy only.
Jonesy only, because I don't know what you're gonna see at the bottom of somebody's penis. What are you gonna see, sir? Quickly explain this in 15 seconds.
I mean, the webbing that connects your shaft to your balls,
Okay.
it'll like spread out a little bit depending on how warm you are.
okay,
It's kind of like Spider-Man down there.
T, do your gym.
okay,
Do your gym.
okay, okay. I mean, we touched on so many points. I kind of feel like I want to just talk about the white people shit. I don't know. Shit, I don't know. Maybe just Kyle's gym.
Gee, I really want to say something profound after that, but
We
I
could just
have
wrap it up. We
nothing.
could just wrap it up on just exactly.
Hell
that.
no. Nope. Got it.
Mhm.
Pay attention to those who can't show public acknowledgement of you because they speak ill of you in private.
Sounds like something I saw on Facebook.
I like that way better.
he probably did.
I like
I
that
did. It was
way
him.
Probably
better.
did.
Yeah, it was me. I just went through my thing and said, oh, I could use this as a gym.
I like that way better, bro.
Yeah.
yeah. Way better. It look under anything.
I guess I'll just say strive for education, man. I think education is the root to a lot of our solutions.
Yeah, and it's never too late.
It's never too late to learn something new today.
If you can't read, you still can.
Get your library card.
Get your
Made
library.
our
I'm
eyes
starting an initiative, bro. I got 5 people they library. Well, I didn't get them, but
Ooh.
I've influenced them or whatever. 5. I'm going for 10 this year, bro. I'm trying to find 10 niggas, bro. 10 niggas to get their library cards.
If I
That's what I'm.
mine, do that count for you?
No,
Okay.
somebody has to not have one, and they went and got one because I told them to get one.
I help
Okay.
you out. I wasn't gonna go renew my shit either. But hey, I guess I shouldn't admit that.
Nah, no,
Go read, y'all.
no fluff numbers. I want a nigga that don't go or ain't been
Yeah.
to be like, I got my library card because of you.
Yeah.
Or because of club culture. It don't even got to be because of me. Because there's niggas out there that'll hate me forever, that'll never like acknowledge me in that light.
Uh-huh.
But since the goal is for you to get your library card, you can just blame it on the pod. Club culture told me to get my library card. I'm
Yeah.
cool with that.
Great
Okay,
goal,
cool.
and I appreciate you sharing the shine.
Hell
Yes.
yeah. Look under that dick though.
May the eyes of y'all understand and be enlightened.
Yes. Cortland, never say killing butts again. We are dropping that. Okay.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Please do not leave this episode and start saying killing butts.
I might.
Don't do that, please. Okay.
my
If you're on
God.
YouTube,
Is Cortland about to replace No Diddy?
Oh God, no butts, yo. No butts.
please share this podcast with a peer, with a family member, with your pastor. Please share. Okay. Help us grow.
Share it with some niggas that can't read.
Please share with them. We will teach y'all new words if we have to,
Turn the
so that y'all
captions
can
on.
want to listen to us. Share this podcast. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Bell.
And if you're on your favorite streaming platform, thank you for tuning in, and make sure you leave us a
Rating.
Hey, y'all copy?
There we go.
I was ready.
We a trio in this motherfucker.
Peace.
Just watch the damn podcast.